let's check this chat room, see what we got going on here. See how many people we have here. Make sure. All right, still loud and clear, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, you're perfect. All right, let's go. Hello, come on in, people. This is exciting. This is my second hangout, I believe. This is my third actually, but I had to
Oh,
delete the other one.
we
What's
had
up,
you
Bugs?
had to
What's going
delete the
on?
other one.
No, there was a whole nother hangout. There was a lot of controversy behind that. There was some people that was
Oh,
What's up, Chris? That's my guy right there. Chris, Kesia,
oh,
whole
thank
ass niggas. Chris, are they not flagging me for the whole ass nigga instrumental? Is it? You know about Anderson Paak, don't you? You from Cali, so you should know.
about who?
Anderson Paak, the singer from LA.
Fail me. I don't know why it's sounding like I don't recognize it off the top of my head. What is it? Or what is
He's an
this?
R&B. He's like an R&B singer. He's a soul singer. He's a young cat
Oh,
though. What's up, Quana? Be wealth driven. I love that name. I like that. Renee, Keish, My Cheese. I think I butchered her name. Mertrice. Mertice. I say I. Oh my goodness. I apologize for that. Latanya. Yeah, I got hit with a cat. Was it the instrumental or something else? The whole ass nigga instrumental. Was it that one? Hey, Miss India. Miss India said you sound so sexy and intelligent.
oh, what? Thank you.
Well, I'm not in trouble. Okay,
Oh,
so
thank you.
yeah, so YouTube. I think YouTube has caught on to the slowing down of songs. I think they caught on to pitch and melody or whatever. You can't get shit past. You can't get shit past YouTube. YouTube is not playing. Lovely one. That's my lady. That's my girl right there. She's so cool. And listen, it's not many women on these hangouts that put women in check and say, "Let the man talk." That was so real to me. Chris, you remember that? I let him check that out. I said, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe I heard this." What's up, Miss April? Well,
You
we
know,
got we got a few. Go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say like before we really talk about anything, I was gonna say I want to kind of like take back a lot of what I said in that video because I saw this video just a minute ago and Kanika was in this trash bag, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
they dragged her to like somewhere where they had ice, and I think maybe they killed her that way.
You
Maybe.
sure?
No.
Gotcha. Yeah, they say we fucked him up with that one.
I'm like, no, no, but did y'all see that video though? Because I'm telling you, like, she was choked out, and then
Yeah,
no,
this is it's not to be funny, but people just make this. They make this stuff funny. And it's not. We're not trying to laugh at it, but y'all make this a joke. Y'all really do. What's up, Cherie? Yeah, got the irene face. All right, so let's dive right in. So Miss Crenshaw, um, this lady has been watching me for what? How long now?
oh, geez, I found you because I would search for um Kanika videos and people that were actually speaking about it and that were bringing any information after it seemed like immediately the news stopped reporting anything. So right in the beginning, maybe 2 weeks after it happened, I found you and realized quickly thereafter that you were pretty much, the most realistic person that I could consistently hear from regarding this case. You were consistent on how you felt and it made sense. So I subscribed to all of your channels. Like, I mean, well, at the time you only had one, but yeah, so I'd say, well, it's been 6 weeks, a good 6 weeks, I'd say.
Yeah, that's pretty much how long I've been at this. And on the real, I appreciate you for that. Because most people they tend to it's so many places you can go anywhere. So many people talking about it. So I take no full credit for everything that's been developing as far as information. But like I said, a lady that worked with me earlier when she was getting off, because I've seen, she's always here every now and then. But the mainstream media is not going to tell you what anybody on YouTube is going to tell you. So they will leave you in the dark and you have no idea to inform
Right.
the people about the middle, so we can, give you the full information. So I want you to first just explain, everything about you, like, um, you can have the floor.
Okay. Well, I won't spend too much time. I feel like, well, for whoever did see the video, um, I tried to without going into too much detail, but there is so much more that could be talked about as far as what I've seen that are in those case files and what is in those um just all of the narratives, all of that. I mean, I could go on, I could make videos from now and until uh, this time next year probably, because it's a joke almost how stupid they think that we are, and it's insulting that they would close the case right after releasing all of this information that should have been further addressed. I don't know how many of you have really went into these case files and have read the narratives that are in there. I mean, the narratives alone are incriminating. I mean, they contradict each other. They say too much, or it's clear when they're cutting things out. They're constantly daily editing and taking information out. I showed you in that video how from the first day I was lucky enough to find the narrative with the red, just like the red lines over it. I don't know what fool at Rosemont didn't look at that before they put that up, but I'm glad they did, because I was able to find out a lot of information from that simple mistake that they made. It was a blessing, because I was able to go on wait. I went onto one page and then another page, and just I was able to connect the dots. And that's really where I get the um, cousin from, because the name, I think that they lied about the last name, but they were honest about the first name, which is Serena, or she goes by Cece. I don't know if any of you guys have seen her before. I've never seen her when it came to like the funeral, or people protesting or anything else. She lives in the city, but she's just MIA when it comes to being there in support. And I feel like that makes all the more sense in my eyes, because she can't be around when she was a fake kenneka. That's too soon.
Right.
You know, she can't
Exactly.
be seen with the family and shit when it's like, hey, you look like. But when you really look at the facial features, I mean, and everything. I mean, from the no tag on the back of a different tag on the back of the pants, to the structure of her face, the nose, the lips. She has a smaller top lip. Um, the inset, like the way her face. I mean, I feel like I'm looking at that girl. I don't know about any of you, or if anyone really agrees with me, but
Yeah,
um,
I'll agree. I'll agree on that. And well, let's get this out the way because I watched this other video. And to those who
mhm.
don't know who that guy was that made the video about the security guard, a lot of people don't know his name. His name is Dr. Ali Muhammad, and he's on this channel. I forgot the name of the channel, Aboriginal channel or something like that. But
Oh yeah,
I got a question. I got a question. Because I've seen a lot of the footage. I've never seen blood on the security guard's hand in these videos.
blood in the
And
security guard's hand.
yeah, he had a screenshot with the blood on the security guard's hands. And I might be wrong if he read that in the paperwork about blood on his hands, but he did mention about him leaving town. So my problem is this: is there any fact that you got a video of him with blood on his hands instead of a screenshot? Because you saying that blood was on his hands pretty much connects to the fact that he's leaving town. And I have a problem with that because you know how these videos can go, right? You know what they
Mm-hmm.
could do with just chopping up certain videos. My
Oh yeah.
thing is, if you can't see this on the FOIA, I need to know about that because that's misleading to the people.
I have to go back and see exactly what it is exact because I'm not going to say that I have not personally seen a video with well you wouldn't be I doubt as though there would be a video where you could clearly see blood. You know how these cameras are. I mean nothing is that clear. Sometimes you can't even make out a face, let alone anything on someone's hand. So the report that I know the video that you're talking about, and in the report that from the security guard, the one that said that he said he sometimes works in security and something else. That's that same report.
Right.
I don't recall him saying anything in there about him having. I mean, I could be mistaken. There are so many narratives that I have that one saved as well. You know what? I could look for it and see.
Right.
Oh, he had a bloody
Right
nose.
now,
Is that what
now,
someone
yeah,
said?
that's not that. That's poor. That's poor. That's me not going back because, like I said, I just woke up at 8:45 my time, and I've been at work, and I've been trying to get your video up, and we here now.
Mm-hmm.
But forgive me for my ignorance for not going back and re-looking at what he said. But I don't think it's in the paperwork, and I could be wrong. Somebody said I was on the FYA, bloody hand, and he was holding his nose as he walked down the hallway.
Oh, is that what that
So,
was? I remember
well,
seeing
yeah.
the
So,
video of where, but I mean, you couldn't really tell why a guy, but I did see a guy hold his nose at some point. But
yeah, but
there's so much speculation though, because that could be that could that could easily be like, oh well, I was about to sneeze, and so I try not to um, overlook into. But those are all those little things. Seriously, are what uncover the big things. When you look at something small like that, and that's how you have to be. You have to be diligent in the little details. So yeah, I'll look into that for sure.
yeah, now somebody said speculating that he was in a fight with Kanika, but my thing is when was he? When was this blood on his hand? Because last time I checked, if you just came to the room, if she was supposed to be in the room, if you got a disturbance in the room, that means she was there in the room. She wasn't out the room. Now, if he had a fight with her, was the fight inside the room? Because according to what he said, if he left the room and he had blood on his hand, who did he beat up and how did he get the blood before Kanika came out the room?
Okay. Do you want my opinion on that?
Go ahead.
I don't think that Kanika was in that room. So there goes that. If he had blood on his hand, he probably had blood on his hand from whatever. Okay. What I think after just from me reading and reading and reading and studying all of these narratives and the audio and the video and everything else for like I was having an exam. Um, I feel like Kanika was she went to the hotel, if she even went to that hotel, because remember they had various rooms at the two hotels that were right next to each other. And there's the DoubleTree is also listed, well, the receipts of it and whatnot. There's not too much that goes into anyone being interviewed in the DoubleTree, so I don't know that she was ever there, but I know that the same credit card used to buy the rooms in where they were at was also used to buy rooms at the same time in the DoubleTree. So I believe that she came in and she went to the back parking lot, as you'd hear Irene saying, like on the park in the back. Um, so when she got there, whatever happened in that back parking area. And why I say that is because if you really pay attention to the pictures that they only took multiple pictures of something if it was significant. There is numerous pictures of the employee back entrance or the employee parking area. And I thought to myself, why are there so many pictures of this area? Has nothing to do with the case, but it does, because that's where whatever happened to her probably happened to her. And that is right by the freezers that are in use, the freezers with all the padlocks on them, all those freezers on the bottom, the freezers that are set to 0 degrees, where she would actually start to freeze a lot faster. So that's my opinion. I don't think she ever was in that room. The girl in the room I showed you was not Kanika.
Yeah, I agree. And for the record, make it clear that a lot of those freezers had padlocks broken, a
Right.
few of them.
Right.
So if they're being broken, something is going on where they're not finding the keys. So you shouldn't be
Right.
breaking locks if you don't have keys to them. But why are you locking up things that you don't have access to? So that's another problem
Exactly.
because
What would be the
because
reason
if
that you'd have to exactly.
so that has to be explained, in full detail. But those are the little things too that we don't talk about.
Right. And then the video, I don't know if anyone else has seen it because I didn't play the video in my video, but I showed the girl's name and where that video to realize. I think if you go back to that video, you'll see exactly how she writes it. She has that clip that was sent from, uh, was it from Monifa to Irene? Yeah, that same clip, and you could match it up, and you could tell it's the same exact scene, same exact clip. It's basically just two people walking through that freezer area, and it shows the freezers, and it shows that one of those freezers, there was a chair in front of the freezer. I don't know why. I don't know if that. I don't know what the significance was there. It's a very short clip, but it was significant enough that for whatever reason, Irene sent it to Monifa or vice versa. One of those girls sent it to the other one. There's a lot of little details that you have to look at. And then that floor, that area, like if that's significant enough of a video that it makes Irene reply, "See, bitch, now you gotta fess up." If that's that significant, then surely it is the same floor that the lady in the very beginning, before we even saw the surveillance tapes, where she went down there and said, "This is where she was. This is where all the freezers are. Look at how many freezers there are, and there's locks on them." I mean, come on, And this is a prime example of 1 plus 1 equaling 2.
Right.
So,
Well, my thing is also is I always had a problem with this whole upper kitchen thing. It seemed like in the very beginning they never wanted to
the
they never
kosher
wanted to say.
kitchen, the kosher
Yeah,
kitchen.
they call it the kosher kitchen, but all of a sudden it's just the upper kitchen. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah. So what happened to in the very beginning? They never said it was a totally separate kitchen. They said in a kitchen they were doing construction, and then they
Mm-hmm.
said a totally separate area, but they didn't say that in the very beginning. That was before Andrew Holmes even said anything.
Mm-hmm.
Before he made a statement, they never said this. So I got a problem with that, and that's when I jumped on it, and I was thinking like they were constantly, misleading the people, saying that, hey, if you go here, you go there, and she ended up in this part of the kitchen later. Like, so there's no later if where she was at. That was the end. She went to the freezer, and that was it. So
Right.
it makes me
Yeah.
wonder, like, were they trying to hide the fact that she was in a different freezer?
Of course they were, because if it were to get out that she was found in the freezer, which was right by that back parking. By the way, I want to point out, I do have the screenshot too. I can send it to you, and you can put it up. I should have put it in the video. All of, supposedly, allegedly, every single one of the cameras in that back area. We're talking the laundry too, all of that where all the freezers are, the back employee parking, all of that. All they said that all supposedly none of those cameras work. None of those cameras work. The cameras that would have shown Kenneka being beat, choked. I mean, beat to the point where her tooth was knocked out, choked, and whatever else happened to that girl. Uh, who knows? I mean, if the fact that they left so much else out, I wouldn't be surprised that she was raped too, and then put in one of those freezers. Would they have food in those freezers? Would they serve people out of those freezers? I mean, think about it. That's a health code violation nightmare. So, I mean, they would never
Right.
get over that. So that's where I think somehow, some way, be it the manager or some security guy or whatever, that's when they probably got involved. I don't know if they saw it go down or if they stumbled upon whoever was down there, she was in a freezer. I don't know that part. We may never have the answers to, but I believe that is when and why the hotel decided to protect themselves, not release any of the footage when it came to any of that area, because that would be, I mean, that would tell the story.
right. And I'm tripping off what I just read. Yolanda said, "Arrest the whole damn city." I'm like, ah, that'll be too much work. Chicago's not a small town. But I also
It's
want to
not.
talk about these rooms because, like I said, Miss Crenshaw told me a lot of things because I never got into that case file, never got into none of that paperwork. Because when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, that's too much. I'm not gonna get into that. But about these rooms,
Yeah.
what was the actual amount of rooms total?
Okay. While I have you on here, I'm just gonna go into my photos. I have galleries. I have albums for Kanika. Um, Let me see. The rooms. Okay, now, first of all, I was a little bit confused because, hey, if I send you a picture right now can you put it up for the chat to see?
Of course.
Okay, we're gonna go over together some of these pictures. Let me see.
You're gonna email it to me, correct?
No, I was just gonna put it in the Hangout chat.
Okay, it'd be better if you email it to me.
Okay,
I
I
got
will.
my email open. I could take the picture and just bring it right here so they can share it with the people.
All right. So, okay, the first thing I came over or I came across this photo, and at first it didn't make too much sense because it seemed to be now, mind you, there's so many. When I say so many, I mean so many uh different pieces of what's considered evidence in this, like so many files and files and files and files and files, pages and pages and pages of files. So you and they're not in order that makes any real sense. Like I had to like really save and go back and look, and they're not named in any way that would really, it's almost set up to like confuse you. It's like, here's the information, good luck with this. So it didn't really make sense when I found some things, but I would go back and then I would find other things and it would make sense. So whenever you have that first picture, you could put it up. I just sent you. It's basically a receipt, and I just thought it was because that shit. What was her name? Shaniqua or shit? The girl with the stolen credit cards.
Shaniqua,
Remember the
Shaniqua,
deal?
Shaniqua
Watkins.
Watkins, yeah,
Watkins. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So basically, what this is a receipt of um what they highlighted. I did not do that. I did not do the writing or the highlighting. This is how it is in the file. Um, for the different hotel rooms and other various charges on the card. As you can see, I mean, they racked up alone, was it 7134, 388, 24, 250. These are just hotel room charges. And the Doubletree and the Crown Plaza are right next door to each other. So
right,
they were really checking in, checking out, etc. Because
exactly.
they were.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to send you some other pictures that
Yeah, let me know if y'all can see that, everybody. Let me zoom this in real quick. I'll make sure y'all can see it properly. It's gonna be. Let me. I have to zoom in on everything that's in pink, right? Oh, it's blurry. It's a little
it's blurry.
blurry. Yeah, it's blurry. I don't know why.
I don't know
Let me
why either.
let me open it a different way. Let me do it. Let me do it through paint. Let's do paint. Because I can zoom in through paint, and that'll be. Yeah, it's blurry through paint. It's like it's small. So if I zoom in, the resolution gets bad.
Yeah, we don't need any more fuzzy videos, please.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, she's being
Please.
she's being choked in that third line right there. Uh,
Stop. Stop.
yeah, but
Okay, so now okay, now you could see how I was like, okay, well, what's this? Because they were kind of making a big deal, and I could see why they would want to, because of course, if someone dies and they're in a certain hotel room, they're going to want to know who was affiliated with that hotel room, especially who rented the hotel room. So they were able to find out. And I wondered why they were making such a big deal about, um, the charges and whatnot. It's like a girl is dead, and it seemed like they cared more about finding some girl with identity theft for a while there. Did it not?
Exactly. That's what it seemed like to me. But
So,
I don't think they are because if they were, she would have been caught. Yeah, and I really believe I really believe she's at work at Walmart because we gave a couple of calls to Walmart on Chosen's live feed, and that
uh-huh.
individual said this is her.
What?
And it was one of the ladies on the panel. They actually spoke to us, said we was sister-in-law, and she
Mm-hmm.
literally said this is her, and she was like she said, hey, this your sister-in-law, and she was like, who? And next thing you know, after she said, "This sister-in-law, you don't remember me," and she hung up. And next thing you know, they was giving us a runaround, and they was trying to connect us to I forgot who they was connecting us to, but they didn't answer the phone. The phone just rung and rung and rung. They come back to the main operator. She connected us again, and next thing you know, these people picked up and said, "Oh, she just left."
Oh
This was
wow.
all live, so you literally can go to this live feed where that actually happened that morning.
And
So
this
unless
was
there's another Shaniqua that work in Rose, not near. Not, I forgot the address.
what did
I
you ask for
forgot
the
the
first and
address.
last name?
Yeah, Shaniqua Watkins.
Yeah.
We didn't say first name Shaniqua. We said Shaniqua Watkins. And the second
Yeah,
time we
because
called back, second time we called. Chose was like, this is one of the people from Crown Plaza. We have an ID. We're trying to give an ID back. And they just wouldn't, they was like, well, can I come down and give it to her? And they was like, no, you can't bring it here because we won't accept it. And they was giving us the runaround as if because one thing I think she's a manager. I really believe that.
I wouldn't be
Cause we,
surprised. I mean, and every place has different like I know that like if it's under a certain amount of money anyways, it's not considered a felony, then you I mean, even if she was arrested, she may not have done that much time. It also depends on if the person that they stole the credit card from or whatever chooses to say that they want to even press charges. So I mean, it's who knows. I mean, in according to all the paperwork and whatnot, she was involved with that. I don't know if they were able to actually prove maybe the guy that, well, the tranny or whatever, he's already in prison though for killing the other girl that night in a car wreck. Um,
right.
so I mean, I don't know if he was actually the one that actually did the theft, and maybe so it more so falls on him. I mean, it's hard to say because I just sent you a list. I just sent you an email, and in that email, there's about 5 different receipts,
Hmm.
and we could go over those whenever you.
I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna do the first one do one at a time here. Let's open them all through Paint. Make sure we can get a clear picture here.
So yeah, so I thought those were very interesting. I don't know if anyone else has seen these, but they didn't just have one room. They didn't just have 2 rooms. They had multiple rooms on
Yeah.
the ninth floor, and we still don't even know if they also had rooms on 11th and 13th, which has been spoken about briefly. But everything that seems to be spoken about really briefly in this case turns out to be the little bit of truth.
And this is the first one. This was for the 8th, correct? The 8th,
Um,
departure on the 10th.
where are you showing it at? You're showing it on the Hangout.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one says yeah, they're I mean they're all for the ones that I sent you. Let me see what I emailed you. Okay, basically
And that's
all
the
of these,
first one.
yeah, all of these emails, there's if you look at it says arrival on the 7th, departure on the 8th, okay, which was purchased on hotels.com. The next one was purchased on the 6th for departure on the 10th. That was for so the first one was for room 924, second one was for room 930. Then that was for room 927, arrival
It's
7th,
920.
departure
I'm showing
11th,
927 right now.
927.
Yeah, 927 right there. The departure was gonna be 911.
Yep.
And that's the what's the other one? I got two more.
And then the other one is room 924.
Yeah.
which was purchased with the visa that was was that which explains the receipts with the fraudulent charges. So that's one of them. I guess they actually gave like a card number for. The rest of them, they just purchased them online by Hotwire or um, Hotwire, and then another one was hotels.com. So they just had they had a whole row, literally row of rooms, and these are all of the ones and all of these receipts. And if you notice, they're all rung up by cashier number 13, whoever that is. So whoever the cashier is, in my opinion, clearly has to be in on the thing. So there is a lot of, but it's been said from the beginning, from day one of this investigation, that that hotel is what known for prostitution. So I mean, when you're a hotel that's known for prostitution, and your all your regulars and all of your clients are either people selling themselves or buying it, you're gonna have some kind of rapport with them. Usually, sometimes. I mean, if the girls are in there that often doing this kind of a thing and they know them and they're cool with them, that's even more of a, I guess, believable to think that they would help them with the cover up, especially when they would benefit from the cover up, because they're not going to go down over one dead girl from Chicago. They're not going to do that. They would rather make it look like an accident and have her in a kitchen that's not being used.
Indeed.
Oh,
Well,
is
that
that
would make
grateful
sense.
room? That receipt, it's in a totally different. I have that receipt somewhere too. That's in a different. That's in the paperwork where I think that might have been the only room where that Shaniqua or whatever her name is, Shanita or Shaniqua, or that she was actually there for that one. They're known
Right.
for cracking cards. They're known for. They're supposed to be that they've said from the beginning. It said the sister said it. That everyone has said it, that they are known for hoeing in that hotel, basically. But that's what that one chick that was white with the pink sweater on, and she was up at the front desk for ever in the surveillance videos using their phone and everything. Everybody was saying that's what she was, and a lot of the people that were in that hotel.
Right. Well, a lot of people will sit back and also excuse the mom throughout all of this as if she has no idea, which if any adult that has a child, whether she be 18, 19, being that she's only 19, I'm pretty sure this just didn't happen overnight, and her friends didn't start doing this overnight either. So one thing I want people to understand is if you even go do your research on prior Kanika Jenkins pages, Facebook pages when she was much younger, because the recent page you saw where the recent one that we found from the last post being in June, which she had recent posts and there's multiple posts that had been deleted. Prior to that, this would be her third page. Her very first page is when she was about 13 or 14 years old, and it's the one that's called Neek Neek. Is that what it's called? Nene? Something like that? What
Yeah,
was it
yeah,
called?
like
I can't
Nene, and
remember.
then like in parentheses it said like Anna girl.
Yeah. Do we even know what that means?
It's That's a gang. Like there's Anna girl, Anna boy. Like a lot of them have that in their like as part of their name or somewhere in their
That's a
bio.
gang?
It's a I don't know if I'm gonna classify it as a gang, but it's a I
A
mean,
crew?
I don't know what else you would really call it. It's a group of people that you know what I mean, associate with each other, and they're known for they call themselves. Yeah, that's what they're. As a matter of fact, if you go onto that page and you go through that friends list, you will see Anna boy and Anna girl in the as the middle name or last name as more than a few people in that contacts list. So whoever she was associating with at the time, even in her current one, if you look in people's bios and whatnot, you'll see that come up. And they call themselves Anna girl or Anna boy.
Right, right, right.
Probably just like in that certain neighborhood.
Somebody said a woman got killed in the Crown years ago on New Year's. And she was walking out the door. Her ex-husband pulled up and shot her in the head. He's still in jail today. Wow. This was in
Hmm?
Chicago or a different location? Yeah. All right. So one thing about this is do you honestly believe that they're ever gonna get justice behind this? Like, you think somebody's gonna honestly be arrested behind this?
The sad truth is most likely not. It it bothers me. It bothers me to have to go through this again. Another case where clearly there so, a child. I'm gonna say child. I mean, she's underage, even though she was, a young adult. Um, she was killed. Her life was taken from her, and it was not a goddamn accident. I will believe anything before I believe anyone with any kind of insight, any type of. If you really spent more than just 2 minutes to look into this case, you will know that there is no way in hell that that girl just walked herself into some upstairs freezer that didn't lock, by the way, that had a button. So I mean, if you see the video of how easy it is, you barely tap that button and it opens up. She had nothing else to do but try to open that door. If she was really in this freezer, she had nothing else to do but press that button. And we all saw that the lights were on in that place. We all saw the surveillance camera, even though in the report later on they said they had to turn the lights on to see her. I don't understand how that could be. I don't
Cause she's,
understand how
cause
that
she's,
could be.
cause she's right there. She's right there on the floor.
Right. But they
You
said
know.
that the lights were off and that they had to turn the lights on in the reports. I mean, there's so many contradictions. I could go on. Like, there's just so many. So I feel like what happened to Kanika is way more than anything to do with that hotel. The hotel was just trying to cover their ass by not letting it be known that someone put her in one of their freezers that they have their meat and their broccoli in. Okay, so that's why that's their only motive is they're not gonna be sued or go down or be shut down and lose millions of dollars just because of some thugs in their hotel room one weekend decide to and a girl dies. That I'm sure that they said it was an accident, and it may have been an accident because we have to remember she had respiratory problems, she had asthma. It's very, very reasonable to believe that she was raped, maybe she was choked out, maybe they just wanted to beat her up, and she died and they weren't planning on letting her die. Maybe they did want her to die, maybe they didn't. But the fact that they are covering up whatever was really going on with this girl, the fact that they're covering up that she was affiliated in some way, shape, or form with a crime that happened, that you can't even really find that crime. The only crime that made sense to me that happened on that day was a girl was shot. This guy that she was talking to um, said he was mad because she wasn't talking to him anymore. And he shoots her and she dies. But that can't be that story because he shot that girl in the morning. She got that text message that they tried to delete at what time was that? Like it was like it was like midnight or something.
One 55. Was it one? Was it 5:55 or 5:05? Because it's
It's at
UTC, so it's 4
5:02.
hours
So it was
ahead.
like yeah. So
Five.
it was
It's 5 hours behind. Yeah.
So it was like 12:02. But there was also there were so many deaths that weekend. It is ridiculous. But there was also in the news articles. But Chicago Tribune covers everything up, so you cannot find the name of the girl that died. But there was a cop shot and killed a girl also that weekend. So I don't know if they just don't want to get involved because she witnessed that. Who knows? There's so it could she witnessed something that she probably shouldn't have seen, and it was so intense that even the security guy at the goddamn liquor store knew not only that she saw it was a part of whatever went down, but that he said that he believed that she knew both parties involved. So whatever
Right.
happened and he said it was even on the news. And you know why he said that is because in Chicago so many killings happen that not everything gets to the news. So it was obviously significant enough that it made it to the news, and Kanika was in the middle of it. There's so many gangs, there's so much violence, so many deaths and killings. It's very, very, very believable that she saw some shit and nobody wanted her to run her mouth, and they followed her to that hotel from the liquor store.
Right. And I think when it came down to this whole investigation, even before we found out anything, it seemed like when the mother said the hotel did it, that's when it became a big story. So now we can blame somebody else and not blame the fact that normally a parent's supposed to say, well, her friends had something to do with this. Because they're not telling me. If they told you something, you should be able to tell what they told. If they're not telling you something, don't just ignore the fact that they just don't know. They know what happened to that girl because they lied. They said she was in the lobby, and next thing you know, she was left in the
Exactly.
hallway.
Not only that, I'm a little bit annoyed with the fact that, I mean, okay, not only did she like does she show absolutely next to no emotion, and that's fine. At first, you know what? I'm going to say this. I was defending Teresa in the beginning. That's what makes me upset. I would defend her. I would get on people for
I
saying,
was too.
who are you to say how a person grieves? You don't know if she goes home and breaks down. You don't know. So then as time went on though, and as time really, you really start to pay attention to people, and you really start to see, and I was like, this shit ain't right. This Something is not right here. Something is not right here, and they're lying. I've caught them in one. I let the first lie pass. I let the second lie pass. Now no. Now you made me look stupid because here I am defending you to people when if you didn't do that, if you weren't the one that set this up, you damn sure at the very least know about it. I know you know about it. And if you don't know about it, that's a sad thing too, because I shouldn't have to be the one to put up the recent picture of your daughter. Why are you posting throwbacks of your daughter from 2013 and 14? Because that's all you have. Why don't you investigate who was texting her, who was following her, or were you too busy deleting those texts off of her phone? Why am
Mm,
I talking about this? And why isn't Teresa talking about this? You know what I mean?
right. You know what
So,
she when she was missing? You know when she was missing the first picture she put up. Kenneka had to be every bit of maybe 15 on that picture. She's not even. That wasn't even a new picture.
right.
Kind of
Yeah.
remind me of Trayvon Martin when you post that little younger picture and he looks nothing like that. Look like he's
Uh-huh.
every bit of maybe 14, 15, and he's really 17, a lot bigger. You know, it lets you
Uh-huh.
know that people really don't have this relationship with their children. Like, I got recent pictures of my son. I don't like to post them all online, but I got them on my phone. So
Exactly.
I'm
You
not gonna
wouldn't have,
post a
yeah.
picture of my son when he was 8 because he was skinny when he was 7, 8 years old. You know what I mean? So come on, like what I look like. My son is missing, and they looking at a skinny boy.
See,
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying?
And that caused so much confusion for us that really cared about this case, because where we see the pictures, finally we've been following this case. We've been, okay, they're gonna actually release the pictures. We don't know what to believe because the whole case has been a goddamn circus show from day one. So they release these pictures, and we're like, who the hell is that? Who's
Right,
that
right.
lady?
Yeah.
Who's that woman? Who's that? Hey, Kanika. So it caused confusion, and it caused, if anything, more people to be like, either this is bullshit in general, or Kanika's not. It caused more conspiracy theories, and it caused more division between everyone. But if we would have known what Kanika looked like this whole goddamn time, if she would have had even one picture of her, or cared enough to have one, or be that involved in her daughter's life at all, she had to go onto her Facebook page and get throwbacks. It would have caused a lot less confusion. And I'm really irritated that we both know, we all know that if I was able to find out this information about the liquor store and Kanika, and whatever drama, and the mama even had her cell phone for how long before she would even give it to the cops? You think that she doesn't know this information? Why isn't she? Why isn't she, if she wants justice so badly, why isn't she trying to seek justice where she should, instead of blaming a hotel for covering up some shit that, I mean, yeah, they aren't going to show the tapes because they probably feel like it's not their problem. I mean, I'm not saying that they are without fault, because they are. They're lying as well. Everyone's lying. Everyone in that goddamn city is a liar, pretty much.
I'm gonna tell you another issue that I really believe that Lenore was more of a mom to Kanika than Teresa ever was, especially lately. You ever notice that? I think the recent time we've seen her with like anybody in the family was with Lenore. And they were drinking. They had white cups in broad daylight, just kicking it. And Lenore looked like she was drunk. She had like a t-shirt on, some type of t-shirt dress or whatever the hell that was. She had that on. Everybody was dressed up. It was I think it was Monifa, but I know Shemaya was out there. It was Shemaya. It was Kanika. It was Lenore, and about three or four other girls. And they had to have been
When
drinking
was this?
alcohol. This was goodness, I don't know the timeline, but I know it had to be recent. It had to be like a week before the hotel, situation, or around that time. They were in the neighborhood. They weren't even going that far.
Uh-huh.
And I think Lenore was more closer to her. It
But
just
I
seemed
don't even
like that.
know about that because wasn't Lenore like living in a whole different like she wasn't even living in Chicago.
Yeah, she was
Remember?
living in Chicago. I got her address.
She
She's
is
living in
living in Chicago,
Chicago.
but she wasn't living in Chicago for a while, like with her
Yeah, in the past, yeah, previously, yeah, but recently
right,
she was.
right,
So, the
recently.
recent
So
time is important because if she's 19. Those last year or so is when she became an adult. And if you look at her Facebook page, like Kanika's Facebook page, a year ago from this time, she was just sitting in the house bored. You could, because I know young kids, like she looked bored. Like all she
hmm
could do is just talk, 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 listen to the radio, and next thing you know, eventually the more she talked, the more you saw who she really was.
true. Oh, I want to address someone just said there should have been more trauma and injury to the face if she was fighting for her life and there's no blood and bruising to the face. Okay. Um for if you okay, that being said, think too when we all saw Kanika in the on the stretcher and in the body bag, which is kind of odd too that they never showed us, even where she was really like. I don't even know where they brought her from because, anyways, she didn't look like she had anything wrong with her at all. She didn't look the way she did in the freezer. So don't you think that if they cleaned up her face and cleaned up her hair, that they would have also, if there was any blood on her face, wiped that off too? You could see that her mouth is clearly all swollen and she's missing a damn tooth.
Right. And and this is where me and her disagree with.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some Photoshop going on with that pic.
Yeah, I mean, I could. This is where I'm kind of torn. Okay, on one hand, I could kind of see where that may have even happened, and I would not put it past them. Believe me, as long as it took them, especially to release the pictures, and then the fact that there's no picture of of Kanika's entire body with her face completely exposed. They have her hair in almost all of the pictures, all in front of her face because that's how supposedly they had found her, and it worked out for them all the better. They only have a few pictures where they're really showing that girl's face, probably because they mainly wanted to cover up the fact that she was missing a tooth and whatever else was wrong with her face. But you also have to take into consideration if you're freezing, and she finally did fall shoot on her face at some point wherever she was in the freezer, you could tell that she was on her face. Her nose is going to look more smushed. We also don't know if her nose was broken. So you could tell it's the same girl. I mean, you could tell that it's the same girl, but she does look, I mean, her nose looks like it's all smushed in, and her lips look like they have been busted. So now, did they also add Photoshop to make it look less extreme? Uh, I I wouldn't put it past them.
I believe it. I believe they did because a lot of the features don't match, but everything
Mm-hmm.
else does, like the tattoo, the size of the body, the hips, and the back area, and
Exactly.
everything.
Yeah,
Everything is there. It's just like the face looks kind of different.
that's
The
and then
nose. Yeah.
the Great Pro 2080 just said how did Lenora know Kanika's hair was all over her face? I made a video about that, and people have been leaving horrible comments on it.
Right.
For me saying that, it has a ton of views. I don't know how, but people are leaving me horrible comments like I'm just the worst person in the world for saying that. But how did she know exactly? How did she know? She described her to a T. She described her very accurately as to what she looked like. She described the way that she looked her with her and her hair. Like, I imagine that Kenneka looked exactly the way that she said in that video. But I saw how she looked on that stretcher. Her hair, they fixed her up. You could tell that they cleaned her up and fixed her up, obviously. And they had her zipped up to her neck. I will always believe that something happened to her neck. She was choked out because they never showed us her neck. They went so far to show us her back, her everything. They took pictures of everything, but they wouldn't show us her neck. So
I always wondered about that too, but I also wondered about, like, when I look at that gurney, that face looks darker compared to what we saw in the freezer. And I
the
don't
face,
know,
yeah.
like, when I guess if you pull a body out, like, is the face supposed to get darker when it comes out the freezer? Plus, the
Well, I don't
autopsy the
know,
autopsy report never said she was frozen.
because she wasn't frozen, because she wasn't in there long enough to fully be frozen. Think about it. She doesn't even show up into that hotel until whatever time. Well, when she got that text, it was like around, like sometime after midnight. Probably shows up to the hotel. Like, let's say she actually got there at 12:30 or so. Okay, because it doesn't take that long to get there. Well, from the time that she got there, with whatever happened, like if we go with my theory that she never even made it upstairs into the room, whatever happened to her, and she was put in a freezer. She was pretty much found. um we're only looking at like what, 12, 18 hours after that, so she's not going to be frozen salt like an ice cube. It's going to take, this is a human.
Right.
So
Now,
it,
now,
huh?
it's one thing also to think about. Now, somebody put this on my mind earlier today, and I thought about it, and I was like, "You got a point." And I was like, "What if the guy that said that she was frozen solid? What if that was a false report that she was frozen solid? And what if she was found alive in that freezer and never was on? Because if you lied and say she was frozen solid, you could have lied about that. What make you think you wouldn't lie about her even being dead to begin with?"
Well, why would he say that she was dead if she was alive, though?
Well, he said she was frozen when she wasn't.
Well, yeah, because he probably, okay, she was probably cold. First of all, that guy's not like, how does he really know? If I go into my fridge, and if I were to take out something from my fridge and put it in my freezer, and I go in there, and it's cold to the touch, I'm going to be like, oh, it's frozen. That was a cop who didn't even touch her. Probably he just probably looked at her, saw that she was all stiff and rigid, and just spoke out of his ass like all of the rest of those people were
It,
doing.
I
You
like what
know?
the case said. Like what the case said. It sounded fake because when I look at the video,
Yeah.
it don't look like that guy was in there long enough to even say she was frozen solid. And from the looks of it, if you have to, because it sounded like he was kneeling down, so he had to, touch her, or at least somewhat realize that she was frozen solid. But if she was frozen
That's
solid, it just didn't look like it was cold in that freezer. It just
right. It
looked like
wasn't.
everything was, yeah, it wasn't
It
cold.
wasn't.
So
Not at all.
for him to say frozen solid, that is a lie and that needs to be addressed. But
Yeah.
I would like to meet that officer to see if he sounds like that guy on the tape, or talk to him and actually just hear his voice to know if that's him. Because if
I
it's a
will go
different
through the
voice,
audio
something is
files.
wrong.
I'll go through the audio files. And because that's definitely in the case files. I'll go through it and I'll find it, and I'll see if I can. It's in the. I'm gonna have to go through the reports too, because his name is definitely written in the paperwork, and I know I have that paperwork already saved that says his name, and we could always call down there and ask for him, speak to him, or whatever else, and just. But no, he didn't even know it. I don't even know that they even found her in that freezer. I don't know when they moved her to the upper kitchen, but I do not believe. I think that the reason why she was even cold as she was, because she was starting to freeze. You could tell by her hair, and you could tell by, just like you could tell that she was cold. But you're right, that freezer, it didn't look cold at all. There's pictures too of the cooler, which is right adjacent, like in the same. You have to go through the cooler first to get to the freezer. Inside of that cooler there was mold on the pipes. Where does that happen when it's turned on? They turned it on probably when they moved her up there, just so that they could say she was frozen in that freezer. And then you could tell
Somebody,
that ice was all randomly thrown in there.
yeah, that ice was thrown in there.
Yeah, that
And
was
I think Lenore was the one that said she saw Ice Cube, and I was like, an Ice Cube? Like
yeah,
really?
exactly. Just one fucking ice. Like seriously, right? It just sounded stupid, but
And
simple
somebody
people.
said that mold and mildew doesn't grow on freezers. I'm not familiar with that. Is that true?
I agree. I mean, I've never think about it, because typically mold and mildew doesn't grow. It grows in like a warmer, like it does. I mean,
Because I know in a warmer, because we leave, like I had an issue where I had moved to my friend's house and I had my freezer unhooked,
uh
and
huh.
what I forgot when I finally plugged it up, I never put nothing in there because I went to the store. And when I went to the store, I had a grocery full of stuff in the kitchen. I opened it up and I was like, wow, this just hit me. So I was like, wow, I had to clean it out. It had to be like at least 4 days it was off. So
Mm-mm.
I do know in warm environments you get it, but I didn't know if it happens in cold environments. But if that was
Right.
cold, I don't know, so I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, and then was it the Grateful 2080 said if she was frozen, or rigor mortis had set in, how was the coroner able to lay her flat? Because okay, that's what I'm saying. She wasn't completely frozen. It's kind of like, when you put something in the freezer and it's in the freezer for a couple hours and it's cold and it's getting stiff, but it's not completely frozen yet. And that's exactly why they supposedly had to wait the 4 hours for her to thaw out. That's probably the only part true in this entire shit, because she was in a freezer that was 0 degrees. I put up there in the video that they asked, like, what temperature are your freezers supposed to be at? 0 degrees. Okay, but this one's at the freezer was like at 40, what, 30 or 40? They said it was at 30, but then by the time they had the doors open, that's why it went up. So it's all a bunch of bullshit. She wouldn't have been that frozen then if that was the case. She wouldn't have been that frozen. So they had her in a freezer, an actual freezer downstairs, the kind that lock. And then they moved her up to the upper kitchen so that it would be a kitchen where they could look like it didn't affect anything. It didn't affect any food. It was just an accident. She must have wandered in there. So that's why she was able to thaw out so quickly.
Yeah. So uh I'm not buying the freezer thing. I'm kind of torn in the whole idea of her. I think she probably just got in that freezer at the moment, probably a few hours before. Who knows? Uh, man,
Yeah.
if it's photoshopped to the face, it could be photoshopped to the body. It's who knows, man. It's just
It could be Photoshop. I don't
we
think they
probably would
could.
never figure this out. Like, because I still think she was killed outside the hotel, maybe brought there. You got so many ways to get to this place in the back, and we know the cameras don't work. And typically, if you're like me, you grew up, you had jobs when you were younger, you knew that you can get away with certain things, so you could, get the hook up to your friends or whatever. You knew the cameras
Mm-hmm.
didn't work. We take advantage. We cut them off, do our thing. So if you just imagine in the back all those cameras that don't work, man, you can get away with a lot of things. I'm pretty sure a lot of inventory is being stolen.
I
It's
mean, I
just
don't
easy
believe that the
access.
cameras did. I don't believe that the cameras didn't work. I'm sure the cameras did work. They just said that because they didn't want it to be known that they took a girl from the freezers that they have their food in up to the freezer that was they had to turn on and put her in. You get what I'm saying? They
Right.
probably found her way, because if you think about it, why were the cops already in the hotel that fast? The cops were at the hotel like before Teresa or some shit, like weren't they? Or right about the same, like. they were there, like they were there, like
They
so they
claim they got there
probably
at eight
found
thirty, but they claim they got there at 8:30, but on the FOIA, according to Fractal Truth's FOIA, 10:30. I did the math.
they got there at ten
I,
thirty,
I
and
that was one tape. I sat there and just folded my arms on fast forward with the clock that I attached to my stopwatch just to see exactly how long it took for them to get there. And
mm-hmm,
it was about 10:20, 10:30 ish. And
right,
I'm really looking at like how long would it take to search each floor and things of that nature. And it's supposed to be 503 rooms, which I find that kind of strange. Like
what,
503 rooms. Like I'm gonna find. I wanted to know. Like I was trying to call the last time I called Crown Plaza when they had me in the loop,
uh-huh.
and then I had to book a reservation to get them on the phone. And the lady was like, "Well, I can't tell you this and that." And long story short, I wanted to know how many rooms that they actually have according to each floor, so I could do my own mathematics because on the machine it says 503 rooms. And I'm pretty sure if you got what 11 floors, how many floors is it? 11 floors, correct, or 13?
No, at least 13, because we know that the cops had, and one report said that they had thought it was an 11th floor, that someone said they thought they saw a struggle, but they actually went up to the 13th floor and it was a children's party, some bullshit. So so that's the 13th floor that that's the highest floor that we've heard of mentioned, but that doesn't mean that that's the highest floor that they have. But if you think about it, like we were saying, if you think about the fact that, like, I kind of agree with you. I don't know if she even made it alive to the hotel, if she went to the other if she I think that she probably did make it at least to the outside of the hotel. But I'm to the belief now that I don't believe that she ever even we I don't think that we ever saw her on any surveillance videos. That much I don't believe. It's not the same girl. Now that we know what Kanika
Nah.
actually looks
And,
like,
and she
that's
never and
not
she
the same
never
girl.
made it to the lobby. So not only has the girls lied, not only has the mom lied, not only has Chicago Tribune lied, the police lied, and the hotel has lied. Everybody said she was going to the lobby, going to cast the front desk.
Yeah.
And y'all supposed to be looking out for the safety of people. Who's running around the lobby drunk? Nobody was running around the lobby drunk in all of this footage. But you want to tell
Hmm.
me that it was her and you didn't do nothing? You didn't stop her? You didn't say, "Hey, man, can we help you out?" But she's not even seen on the lobby tape at all.
No, because she never went anywhere near the lobby. I agree with what she just said. She said she was never. I don't believe she was ever alive in the freezer either. That doesn't make any damn sense. She wouldn't look the way that she looked. She would have broken. She would be. It would be a different. It would be different altogether. And she also would have been found in a totally different position. She was already laid out on her face. They just threw her in there, like threw her in there, put her on her face. Monifa had to go back and get her other shoe because they dropped it along the way and put it back in the fucking upper kitchen. Like, they had no respect for this girl. I don't know what happened to her once she drove that car there. I don't know what happened to her, but I do know that she was probably dead, I feel, before she was. They killed her, put her in the freezer. And then they were like, oh shit, now what are we going to do? I don't know if an employee, because it looked like it was an employee in that video that Monifa had sent to Irene, or vice versa. So,
And for those that don't know, we doing cracking cars, we getting hotel rooms, we allegedly, possibly prostitute, and Teresa apparently supposed to be getting a lot of surgery done. Apparently, she's supposed to have cancer, but we all know that's a lie. Her cancer cleared up in
mm-hmm.
August, according to what Lenore said. And apparently, she's supposed to be working. Apparently, she's supposed to be looking for a date, but apparently, she had a
Yeah,
donut on her car. Somebody explain it to me.
yeah.
Like you had a donut on your car all this time, and you weren't trying to get that fixed,
And
but
if
your
you read
daughter is
the,
just using your car.
yeah, and if you read the text messages between the other girls that are in the report, they were like almost like angry about the fact that there was a donut when they were like, I didn't know she had a donut. I don't have to drive. It was almost like it wasn't part of their plan. Now we got to ride on this don't like it was almost like she was like, well, I didn't know. If you go and read the text messages between the girls when they actually are talking about, like, they got to take the car back to Teresa or whatever, they're like complaining, like bitching basically about the fact that there's this donut on the car, and they didn't know they were gonna have to drive it like that. Like I said, best way I could describe it is like it wasn't part of their plan.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I read it that way. I read it that way too. And I agree with you so much with the whole with everything you're saying. She was dead before they put her in that freezer. There's no fucking way that that girl was alive when they put her in the freezer. She wouldn't look like that. She wouldn't only take her excuse me for being like direct, but her ass and titties out. Like that's all that was taken out. She didn't take her. I mean, you can't go with the theory that like, okay, well, with some people when they actually are freezing, they take their clothes off, but she left her jacket on. She only barely started to. She broke her own button off of her button is broken off of those jeans, you guys.
Right.
She has no button, so someone ripped the button off of her jeans. I don't know if that was done when they were putting the clothes back on her, but not even it's not even the same pair of pants though. Putting the jacket, I don't even understand. It's like the similar pair of jeans as the other fake Kanika, and then the jacket doesn't even look the same to me though. So I don't know if they just wanted to make it look. I don't know what they were trying to do, or maybe she really was raped. But that girl was that girl was killed, and that girl's dead. I don't believe after seeing those videos that Kanika's gonna have a like they're gonna break her tooth to make the story more believable. That this just doesn't make sense to me. And everything about the body shape of that girl, everything about every little every little dot of that tattoo, of all of her tattoos of is the same. She almost looked like Huggie was saying, like, was she pregnant? Was she just did she really just gain that much weight? You know, because she looked like she grew up a lot. Like she had a like she's been living the like you could see the years in her face. You know, like she's beautiful. She was a beautiful, beautiful girl, but you could tell that she had a life where I don't know. She just looked older beyond her years. You know,
Right.
she was only 19, and she looks 25 in that picture. She was murdered.
Right. Well, let me see. All right. So for those who want to be on the panel, if you want to ask questions, if you want to
Oh
talk
yeah,
about this and among other things, we can just talk about whatever.
yeah.
Um, Send me your email to my email. Do not post your email in the chat room because I have trolls apparently. So somebody said 12 floors, 503 rooms according to the internet. According to the internet, got to be careful. I appreciate that. According to them.
I'm gonna
So
look for the paper that says that there's while people are coming on the panel that says that they went up to the 13th floor because this whole thing is a lie.
yeah, that's what I remember hearing. I know mom said
Yeah.
they was looking down on the 11th floor. I'm like, why would you be looking up at the 11th floor? Like, what was that about? You know?
Right.
So for those who get the link, you will be able to come on. But I do need you to respond and send me an email with your email to let me know your username, and I will send you an invite. If you don't get an invite, you know why you won't get an invite. I'm not a dummy. Anyway,
Mhm.
let me send April a link here. Uh-huh.
Who is that? Restless Spirit. She she doesn't have a watch on in that bathroom picture. I watched that bathroom video like 20 times yesterday. That's how before I could actually get a good picture of the tag on the back of her jeans, and she doesn't have a watch on. She has a it almost looks like that like I don't know what she has on her wrist, but it's not a watch.
Yeah, hotels.com. Yeah. And hotels.com, they deleting all the reviews and because they going in on Crown Plaza in Chicago and Rosemont.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to, and this kind of it make me wonder, like, I'm gonna start questioning hotels, like, do you know what your food really been around? Do you know what your safety really is about? Like, what may happen to you? Are you really certain?
Yeah, we're not.
Like if you just fall asleep, are you sure somebody gonna come in your room and hit you with the needle, put you to sleep, and next thing you know, you just wake up in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah, we're not.
Like, what do you expect? What's up, April? Unmute your
It said no part in the bathroom pic, but a part in the pic of her the day of the party.
April. Hit the
Um,
microphone, please.
What's up?
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
If you read the reviews on the Crown Plaza, there's even like back from 2007, they say that the whole hotel smells like formaldehyde.
Ugh, really? Wow.
And I told you too. I saw a review on Crown Plaza's site and all, and on their Yelp actually, and it said that that it was a while back, like before the whole Kanika thing. There was a customer that said that they were complaining about low water pressure, and what made me feel sick when I read that is, if you know anything about the Eliza Lamb case, the girl that the tourist that was found dead, she went to a hotel, same kind of a story. All of the surveillance video cameras, only some of them were working. It only will show her getting off of the hotel, look, or out of the elevator looking scared. Somehow she gets into an unrestricted area on the roof, and someone put her inside of a water tank. And the only reason why they found out that she was up there in that water tank, that was a locked section, is because customers were complaining of a sour taste in the water and very low water pressure. And I
Yeah,
was like, oh my God. Really?
and that's disgusting. Just
It
thinking
is.
about it. Just, oh
Mm-hmm.
my God.
Right.
But
People are
it was
showering in that water.
it was some YouTuber I found was like she goes to different places and she takes trips and she says that something about I think it was the Marriott in I think in Detroit had like dirty water and she shared like a video of it and she was like I gotta get out of here like and they're gonna give me my money back and I was like wow it just looked like it was like grayish like ew it was like wow it was wow man you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, let's see. This is lovely. We're gonna get Miss Lovely on the panel here.
And then
Yeah,
what she
so
said,
from now,
she said I wouldn't stay anywhere where there's thugs, thought, butch wandering around. That's the sad part about it is was like the Crown Plaza is supposed to be a 4-star hotel, so it's like, yeah, I mean, things like this could go down anywhere, really.
yeah, you're right.
And the ones that have the ones that have the hotels that have more money, it's almost even scarier because they're not gonna go out of business because of you or me or anybody else, not off of one
Miss
person.
Crenshaw, I got a question for you. If you
Yeah,
think that everything happened kind of in the parking lot or outside, why even bother bring her in the hotel? Why not just put the body in the car and discard it that way?
too many people out there, too many. Okay, I don't think that it necessarily happened outside in plain view. If you go back to the files and you look at all of the pictures that they took, I could send one to Huggy. Do you already have one that you could put up on the screen of like that back area? They took so many pictures of this back area. So,
You
and
send that to
mind
my email so I can show them. I got that in
okay,
my phone.
mind you, Irene was directing people. We even heard her in that video to park
As a
back
matter of
there.
fact, I got
So
it. I got it. I got it. Go ahead.
you got it? Okay. So people were parking back there, and then you have to walk in through an area which they claim have absolutely no cameras. There are so many nooks and crannies in different places, but that whole back freezer area, it's like it's spooky. And there's supposedly not even one working camera, which I mean, personally, I do not believe. So I believe something happened to her down there, back there. That's where I think something happened to her. So they're not going to drag her out into a public area where anybody could see that happening. Any guest of the hotel could see that happening, or they could see them dragging this girl. So they had to keep her somewhere they had to put her somewhere. It's a
Okay,
whole
so
room.
what happened to make the police officer make the connection to the liquor store?
Because she was apparently already, like, they already had a report of this. They already had a report of this happening, and her name must have already been connected to it. She was a witness, or she was affiliated with the people involved, to so deep that even the security guy at the friggin' liquor store that said, he said, yeah, I know, I remember or recognize the regulars here. And she lived in that area, like right in that area. So she probably was in that liquor store and around that liquor store all the time. So she, I mean, but really though, the people at the liquor stores don't know my personal business. So if it's something so severe that even the security guy knew that she was affiliated with with the crime that went down, that's obviously something that, there's record of, there's report of. She probably had been interviewed, or she probably was right there. Maybe she was holding the dead girl that died. I don't know, but she was connected in some way. So that's why it's not like they want to. And the thing about the Rosemont Police Department, they didn't care one way or another. They didn't care about really solving or getting justice for this case. They put in the least amount of effort that they possibly could. They had all this information from the very beginning. They did their investigating in the first like 3 days, and then they just did bullshit paperwork and called it a day. So the fact that they really, but why else would they go? Why would they go to a whole different jurisdiction and interview a man unless it was that significant, and even make him come into their station to ID her on a photo lineup to make sure that he knew who they were talking about and make sure that he was able to identify her, and he did.
I would love to find that story of what happened that night. The police report from the night of that interview.
The police report from the one that I put up on the video.
No, of
Oh, you're
whatever
talking about
happened.
the actual crime.
Find that story of right.
You know what? If you could, I'm going to continue to search and search and search. I wanted to get this video out and the information out to people because I felt like, it needed to be. I'm not going to hide anything that I know, any article or anything that I find. It's information for all of us. It's not anything that anyone wants to share anything that I find, use anything that I find. I have no problem with that. This is for us to get justice for this girl because nobody else really cares. So I'll continue to look, and I will definitely be updating Huggie with any updates that I find. If you go on, there's a lot of different sites you could go on to, and you could look up all of the it was a shooting death, so you could look up all of the shooting deaths in Chicago. There's just so many every single day that it's hard to tell which. And a lot of them will even say unidentified, unknown. So you won't even have a name for who died. So it's kind of difficult. But I mean, if we're all working on finding the information, I'm sure we could find it.
All right, I got the picture up. Let me show that picture you was telling me about. Did I have it open? There we go. All right, here we go. All right, let me know if y'all see this. Let me zoom it in.
And those are the ones with the lights on. There's like 12 pictures of this area where it's dark. Actually, there's other pictures. There's another picture that's that's like even further back here. I'll email it to you right now. It's the
Okay.
same area, but why would they take so many pictures of a same area that has, according to them, absolutely nothing to do with the crime?
Right.
Or they never even wanted to consider it a crime, an accident.
I never seen a kitchen with so many freezers. I just have.
I've never seen so many freezers in my life. Yeah. It's just unnecessary amount of freezers.
Right.
Unnecessary.
Very. How you doing, Miss Lovely? We have Nay. What's going on, you two?
Does
Hey,
anybody
YouTube. Hey, Huggy, how you doing?
I'm wonderful. And you are?
Good. Huh? I wanted to say to Miss Crenshaw, your video was phenomenal in
Oh,
terms of your research and how you put everything together. It was on point. It was
oh,
not it was not lackadaisical. It was very detailed. It oh my God, it was perfect.
thank
For
you so
me,
much.
yes, it was perfect. I loved it. I don't know what you do, but that was a great video. And for me, I put a comment on that video. The cherry for me on the cake of it, I'm sorry people don't get offended in the comments because I know it's very sensitive. It's like no matter what you say, oh my God, don't say
Right,
that. The
I know.
cake, you know. Sorry. But I'm passionate about it too. I have children. My son's turned 31 today, so
Oh wow.
um was that last picture. That's why I always asked in the live videos, can someone tell me why her body is laid on that wall like that?
Mm-hmm.
And no one could ever answer or would ever answer me. I'm like, okay, so nobody's not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it. And why her hair is over her neck. And I remember we were on Truth Out Loud. I think me and you, Huggie. And I said, can somebody tell me why she looked like she's on a photo shoot? That her body, why they got her body as a photo shoot? Or whoever body that is. It's a
Mm-hmm.
photo shoot.
Right.
And why can't we see her neck?
Right.
I'm sorry. I immediately thought what I thought, and I put it in the comments, and I thought decapitation. That's what I thought. And
You
the
notice
only
that
reason I
you notice
thought
they only
that,
show the head. You notice they only show the head on the gurney, so that's questionable.
exactly, because that body that laid in that freezer is thick
Yeah.
and compared to the body that came out on that gurney
I wouldn't
or
be surprised if they I didn't even
the
think too much into that, but
pillows.
yeah, they could have that was her in the freezer and then they could have just here's the head, we'll take the body, you know?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Excuse me, are you saying that they did? Oh my God.
That they
Are y'all
did. I
saying
don't
that they did cut her head off?
I don't know. I don't
I
know,
mean, you
but
got to look at it. Just
What
go
about
back
you,
and look
Huggy?
at it.
I'm not sure, but they don't show a neck, and that's questionable. And when you think about the idea of how they laid on a gurney, you only saw a head, and I don't know. I don't know.
the only thing that's going to make me say maybe not to that, at least maybe not the entire body, is because for I was when I was kept watching that video of when the mom and Lenore and they came back there, but when before they come back there, there's a brief like they're getting her ready. She didn't even have the blue part of the body bag on yet, and then they he lifts her neck up like putting like propping it up, and so if it was just a head at that point it would have rolled off, but that I mean now that you guys mention it, it could have been a I mean, it could have been, maybe it was just her torso. I or not torso, but just like I don't even want to even think that deep into it, but I could definitely see how you would think that. I didn't even think about that too much because there's so many different elements to think about in this case.
Right.
And the most important thing to me was letting everyone know that what this girl looks like, and
It
I was
was just
blessed.
strange. It was strange to me that they would have her body leaned up against the wall like that.
Right.
Okay,
Oh
I'm just
yeah,
saying, like, okay, okay, you term it as a crime scene. but there's no yellow tape. Okay.
No,
You
they
term it,
never treated it as a crime scene. They
they
treated it as a
never
death
treated it as a
investigation.
crime scene.
They
So
didn't.
if you never term it and label it as a crime scene, that means you could do what? Anything to this crime scene. So
I agree.
like they did. They had her on one side and then they had her on another side. So when they had her on another side up against that wall with her upper body like that, but then they had her head in her hand and her hair, we never saw her neck. Am I right? Did anybody see her
Right?
neck?
No.
No, we didn't. But if you look
Mm-mm.
at the pictures of her of the overlay they put of her on those bodies walking the hall, have to excuse me, I'm teared up.
I know.
I
I'm
know.
sorry. Take
Her
your
hand
time,
was
sis.
up under her chin, the same hand that was under her chin laying in the freezer when they rolled her over. Her hand was up under her chin in some of those shots coming up that hallway. And I knew. I just didn't want to believe. I was just really hoping that the baby was still alive. That is
I
just,
know. I'm
it's heart
still hoping.
wrenching.
I'm still hoping, to be
You
honest
I
with you.
I can't see the picture of her that same day and then see that girl in the freezer the way that she looks and missing that tooth, and I can't, that broke my heart, and that was the moment that I knew that
Mm,
she was actually dead. I know that she's dead. That girl was killed and she's gone, and it made me even more so. That's when I was like, I have to do I the at the very least I can let people know what it is that I'm finding. I've never
even
been compelled to make YouTube videos. I've never been compelled to really share how I feel and what I've been, it's but this case is, if nothing else, it has brought so many people together in the
together.
sense that we
Yeah.
have all cared. If no one
Yeah.
else has, I mean, we have cared about something isn't right. And if there's just so many different lies that need to be exposed, and in my heart, I mean, I could tell, I could see that picture of her, and no, why is nobody showing us? It's like nobody really cares about this girl. The fact that every picture that her mom has is like 4 years old, because she had to go onto her daughter's Facebook page. She didn't even have any pictures on her own Facebook of Kenneka to post. It's ridiculous. It's like,
That's
and then I'm
ridiculous.
I'm the one talking about the guys or whatever it was. Why isn't the mama mentioning that? Why is she hugging Monifa at the funeral?
Mm,
Why
mm,
didn't she say, hey, that's not my daughter in those surveillance tapes? That's not my
mm.
daughter. As a matter of fact,
But I'm
that's,
sorry, go
see,
ahead.
oh, that's, I
Miss
mean, if you
Crenshaw,
research, uh-huh.
Miss Crenshaw, what are we looking at here? These are two pictures you
Oh,
sent
these
me.
pictures. Oh, this is what I was trying to tell you. There's so many. Okay, the other picture that you just put up, which was like a four-way picture,
Yeah.
that picture is when you walk inside of this right here. Right here is it's the rear. This is when she's like, park in the back, and there's a parking lot. This is what she's talking about. She was directing people to come in through this entrance. And when you go in through that entrance, you see the other picture that you had just put up where all the chairs are stacked up. And then right around the corner is all of the freezers and that area.
wait a
That's
minute.
where,
So she wasn't directing them to park in the back where they can come in through the, I guess
through
there's a
this
parking
entrance.
lot and then they come in through like the side entrance by the whatever the hospitality bar or
This,
whatever it's called.
yes, yes, yes. This entrance right here. That's what that is. This is for employees. This is not for the general public. This is where they came in through. This is where they were supposed to come in through. Yes, but did Kenneka ever make it inside? I don't think so.
I've been doing security for a long time now, and that place is too big for one security officer. I know that for a fact. Was he the only security officer on duty?
Don't that they don't say that, because when they put, even they have like logins or like clock-ins of employees, but they black out their information, so I'm not able to verify, who was working what shifts.
Because my office is nowhere nearly this big, and we have three overnight security officers, and
Right,
we're not even open overnight.
right.
Right.
I've done security. I've done when there's a big environment, you have to have more than one.
Especially when you supposedly don't have working cameras, right? What is that even
Exactly.
more reason?
Somebody should have been in the back. They should have had like a what they call a special duty officer until they got everything fixed in the back for camera surveillance. Because I had an account where we would sit outside and the cameras stopped working. They had issues of malfunction problems, and they had us go inside the building. They had another person outside. So they had one person inside looking out for that inventory, making sure nobody broke in or got in or stole anything, and they made sure everything was taken care of outside. When everything was fixed, we got outside the building. We had one officer instead of two. This place is entirely too big for that one guy.
I honestly think that they were so used to doing what they do, they didn't give a damn who knew what, when, or where. And if something came up, they just covered it up and kept on moving. I really don't think they expected us to get as involved as we did.
Oh, I agree. I
Risa in the
agree.
comments is saying a dead body in the funeral home can be viewed by the family at any time. Even they even ask you, the family member, if you would like to dress the dead so that the mom will look over the body. That may be um, specific to the funeral home because I know when my sister passed, they would not let us see the body until after she was dressed, and we specifically asked. They
You
would
have a
not.
right. That is your loved one. If they
Hmm.
refuse to let y'all see them, I'd have took them somewhere else because they can't deny you access to your loved one. Who's paying the bill?
Right.
Right. That's the funeral home though,
But
right?
I think, yeah, that's the funeral home. Like I said, I
Right.
think it may be specific to the
But
funeral home.
when you have to identify the body of your loved one, that's different.
Yeah, that's
Like,
different. I agree
yeah,
with that.
yeah, when you
But she
have to
was specifically talking about the
especially,
funeral home.
yeah, but when it comes, see, when I speak on that in other chat rooms, like, I said I have two sons, so for me personally, um, the story is sketchy and how it went in the beginning. Um, in the first part of the story, I heard that the girls brought the car back to her, the keys, the car, and the cell phone. Then someone corrected me and said, no, that's not how. I'm like, that's not what I heard initially. Either way, to me, if either one of my son's friend brought my car, my keys, and my son's cell phone back to me, but didn't bring my son. No, niggas, you riding. You, as a matter of fact, you're gonna drive me wherever I need to go to find my son, and
Did we
each one of
ever?
you are gonna stay with me until I find my son. How about that?
Did
That's
we
just how
ever?
I feel.
Did we ever figure out who brought the car back to the mom?
Well,
Paperwork said they brought the car to Lenore.
to
Right.
It says
Lenore,
I'm reading.
Oh,
You know what? You know what? As a matter of fact, could I email you something right now
that's
because I'm reading.
confusing.
Go ahead.
I'm reading a report right now that I'd rather read out loud to you guys, and it answers a lot of the questions that you were literally just about who, what, and everything else. And there's more contradictions. So let me email this to you. I mean, I literally like I could go on like I could do like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous the amount of
Yeah, it's too
questions and
sketchy.
lies that are
I
in this
don't know
report.
what it was.
It's endless
And then
information. Like
and then it's like, why didn't the mama do this and that? As far as I mean, that's a very good question because everything could have been. And I don't like to like I said, I was her cheerleader for a while, for quite a while in the beginning until I started to feel
Yeah,
played and I started to feel like there's something like that Kanika, if that was my sister,
yeah,
I none of this could have went down, and the answers that I have found out as a girl in California that has nothing to do with this, I would have found I would have found all of this out immediately. I would have been asking the right questions. I would
Yeah.
stand in front of the camera. If there was a camera that showed my sister that if I see a camera and you're telling me that it doesn't work, I'll be right here until you run me the tapes. I will be right here. I will be,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to gonna ask the right questions, and I'm gonna demand the correct answers, and I am not gonna let anybody, if I
Yeah.
feel that strongly about not being able to trust a certain county, the last thing that I'm going to do is entrust them with giving them my sister's body.
Yeah.
Here, do what you want with her, or no way. Like, I feel like that's what started to make me angry. I'm like, why are they can't they no one could be that stupid. So
Yeah.
I started to feel played.
Because she's still my
Oh,
child,
but
or they're still my
exactly.
child at this
Right.
point. That's
That's just
still
you.
my child. You can't tell me what I can and cannot view. That's still my child.
Right. You can't tell me I can't touch her, kiss her,
Right.
tell her I love her. I mean, I'm a mother. I have a daughter. I couldn't imagine. And that's what I have a hard time. I have a hard time believing that I've yet to see her show a little bit of compassion, except for the tape that who knows what that tape was about that just barely came out. Oh, but up on the screen right now, I want to read this report to you because this is exactly what we were just talking about who found what. And it says this is a complaint for search warrant. Um, Around the hotel that, and I don't know why it starts off like this too, like it's, but this, because this page was by itself in the report, but
It's poorly written. That's not how you start a sentence
right.
off.
It's a
Yeah,
page missing.
I know there's a lot of things missing in these reports, believe me. It says patrol proceeded to check the hotel floors, stairwells, and roof of the building with negative results. Patrol then left the scene. Okay. Approximately 20 minutes after patrol left the scene, Rosemont Dispatch received a call from Leonore Harris stating that she possibly observed Kenneka Jenkins on the 13th floor of the hotel room. There we go with the 13th floor. When patrol arrived back on scene, they investigated and searched the area with negative results. While patrol was on scene, they received information from Yesenia Garcia that while reviewing the video surveillance within the hotel, they observed Kenneka Jenkins in the lower level area of the hotel at approximately 3:30. Not the upper kitchen, the lower level.
Low level.
Lower level, which is exactly what I've been saying. Yesenia
Yeah.
Garcia then escorted patrol to the area in the lower level employee kitchen and basement.
Mm-hmm.
The initial search of the area resulted in negative results. Yeah, because they weren't opening up freezers. Yesenia Garcia further, I don't know why her name is all over the place when they get rid of everyone else's, but now we know who the manager was that night. Further stated that up to 6:30 on 9/9, she did not observe Kenneka Jenkins leave the area she entered. Why would you only be looking at the area that she entered?
Right.
At this time, patrol sergeant, and there's no cameras back there, so how could you observe that area? As a matter of fact, right? At this
Right.
time, patrol sergeant requested the fire department respond to the scene to assist in the search. Okay,
I
I
never
guess.
saw a firefighter.
I mean, it's a whole this is lie on top of lie on top of lie on top of lie on top. I've read 10 lies already in one paragraph. None of it makes any sense. None of it, and the entire thing, it basically proves what I was saying on the video, that she was in the lower level the whole time.
Right.
That's where they saw her,
Exactly.
and they did see her because they stated that they saw her. But how the hell would you see her in that area if your cameras don't work back there where she came in, like you're saying? While searching the basement area again, Officer Walsh used his portable radio to advise to Rosemont Patrol and fire personnel and Rosemont Dispatch that he had located Kenneka Jenkins. So who is PSO Walsh? Apparently, according to this, that's who found Kenneka. He advised that he had located Kenneka Jenkins in a walk-in freezer located in the southwest corner of the basement kitchen area. What?
Yep.
Walsh at this time
They,
advised further that Kenneka Jenkins was unresponsive. She was later pronounced dead at the scene. It doesn't say anything about her being frozen.
how was she
Um,
later pronounced dead at the scene?
right.
That's called dead on arrival.
Because she wasn't dead when they found her.
She was like
Exactly. That remember
dying.
remember what I said. Remember I said I think they probably found her alive, and something happened to her after the fact.
So, and they never said a goddamn thing about no upper kitchen yet. So, analysts now remember though, this was who knows when this was written, and they made so many mistakes. They forgot to get rid of so much paperwork that they never should have get released to us. Like for example, this right here. Okay, then it says, what was this? Analysis of Kenneka Jenkins' cellular phone will aid in tracking her movements throughout the night. Verify statements made by individuals in the room during the party, confirm the timeline provided by witness statements, and identify additional witnesses in the hotel room during the party. Additionally, other witnesses inside the hotel room had access to Kenneka. Other witnesses inside the hotel room had access to Kenneka Jenkins' cellular phone. What the fuck? What? What? Okay. Why?
That's
Anyways,
what they say.
nobody has my phone when I go to a party. I
Right.
can't remember the last time I went to a party and someone had my phone.
So they want to put you in a mind. They want you to put you in a mind of her being intoxicated, and she's
Oh,
not
come
even
on now.
paying
I
attention.
don't care how much I drink. Nobody has my phone but me.
And I'm
um,
sorry, the way her hand is set up, it looks like she still was holding on to her phone, and somebody snatched it out of her hand.
Oh no, no, you fell for that too, huh?
that is she
Yeah, she
distressed.
fell for it.
I don't
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. But no, because if the phone had been damaged by being frozen, it wouldn't have. It would they. I don't know. But anyways, no, I think that they did have her phone. They did have her phone, just like they had her keys. That's why they had to say, just in case anything were to come out, that her friends had access to her phone. That because they had it. They had her phone and they had her keys. Manifa Shelton and Shemaya Winder took possession of Kenneka's cellular phone on 9 September 2017 prior to leaving the Crown Plaza Hotel. Monifa Shemaya and Kenneka exited hotel room 926 Lie. After exiting the room, they realized Kenneka forgot her cell phone and keys inside the room. Monifa and Shemaya retrieved Kenneka's cell phone and keys from the room. Upon exiting the hotel room for a second time, Monifa and Shemaya could not find Kenneka in the hallway. After unsuccessfully searching, um, Monifa and Shemaya, along with Bree Bree, drove back to Kenneka's residence and met with Kenneka's mother, Teresa Martin. They turned over her belongings apparently. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys too, because what kind of bullshit is that entire thing?
So
What is?
go ahead.
I mean, everything. I could point out so many things that contradict each other and contradict the other things that they have said to us. Never one time in this report did they mention a word about her being in any upper kitchen. Basically, this says that she was found in a basement.
Well, the problem was this is there's another document where they said they brought the car and the keys to Lenore, not the resident of Kanika's, unless the resident is with Lenore, because they said Lenore. So there's conflict, there's a contradiction in who brought the car back. Because Teresa herself didn't say they brought the car.
Yeah. They also don't say that there's 13 floors in that hotel, apparently.
Nah, they don't.
Or that, I mean, you would think that they would mention at some point in time that she was frozen in this report, and or that what freezer she was found in. Remember how
Exactly.
long they took? Remember how long they took to come up with the where exactly she was found?
I told you that in the very beginning. They didn't even tell you exactly where she was. They just
Uh-uh.
said a freezer. That was the story. Freezer, not where. But then when you think freezer, you think, wait a minute, am I eating? Like, listen, who in their right mind stays there on the night, wakes up that morning, eats breakfast, know that there's a possible person missing. Okay, then the next day you wake up on the 10th, you find out, oh, it's somebody's dead body. What?
Right.
And the 11th you're staying there, you're still gonna eat? I'm leaving.
I'm
You
not
can't even
gonna.
tell me exactly where.
Right.
That's
I'm
what
still
something made me
tripping
think
off the
about.
fact that he said that he found her unresponsive and then later pronounced her dead.
They later pronounced dead as if they did CPR and XYZ. I
Right.
mean, come on.
Right. I'm telling you, we could, and that's just
That's that
one
medication.
page.
It's the medication. See, like I said earlier, that medication does not cause hyperthermia, like they've said. That
I
is
wouldn't be
not
surprised if she didn't even have any in her system at all.
that medication does not cause that. That is not a side effect of that medication. I take that medication for migraines. That is not a side effect for that.
I don't think that she was ever on any medication. First of all, who in that type of I mean, she didn't even make it upstairs. Do you really think, where did she get the medication from?
Okay,
Because they've said that
let's
she's not on that medication.
right. But we could even go with the narrative that the dumbass rapist, excuse my French panel,
Hmm.
the dumbass rapist is like, oh, this cause, because it does make you sleepy. So maybe because I have heard in the beginning of this case that the reason that they drugged her was so that they could rape her and that it wouldn't cause tension in the vaginal area so that the rape kit would come back negative. So
But the rape
that's
kit,
why
hold on. But that rape kit did not come back negative because if you read the autopsy report, it says that there was a
but see,
traumatic injury to
but
her
see, I'm
back.
not a rapist. I didn't rape her. I'm not a rapist. I'm saying what the
I didn't mean to
rapist
laugh,
thought.
but now
You
what
feel
I'm
me?
saying is this: is that we can't take the word of the autopsy, like we really can't,
Yeah.
Right.
Where's
Because
the
it's fake.
missing tooth?
because
Can't you
we're
know?
obviously looking at somebody that had to be murdered. We
No, no,
know
no,
that
Right.
no. It
that
says that there
cause
was a traumatic injury, which means that there was trauma to the vaginal wall.
It says that.
Yeah,
It,
I
but
don't.
see, those fools didn't know that. They thought they was doing something really, which takes me back to that medication. So they thought wherever they got it from, because what kids is taking that type of medication?
okay, so if we go with the narrative that she took the Topamax, how did she get such a high dosage in her system?
What kind
That's
of? Can
not
I
a
ask
high
if you're
dosage.
familiar? If you're familiar with that medication, is it something that, is it a pill? Could it be in liquid form? Because if it was liquid form, it could have easily been put
No,
in a drink.
it's a
It can
pill.
be in liquid form.
I've only seen it in pill form. I've never
It
seen
can
it
be,
in liquid form.
It comes in a serum that's liquid.
yeah,
Mm,
it does come.
mm.
Well, because that, I mean, that would be the answer right there. But
I guess if you have epilepsy or whatever it is on that level, but like I said, I only take it for migraines. I have extreme migraines.
But in our
listen,
Mm,
pharmacy, when I worked in the pharmacy years and years ago, it was only in the serum form at compounding pharmacies. So your retail pharmacies, your CVS's, your Walgreens are not typically going to have a Topamax liquid on the shelf. You're going to have to go to a specialty
mm-hmm.
pharmacy to get that
Yeah,
special compounded for you.
That's where
yeah,
I
the organ man comes into play.
and it has so many side effects. But it's funny. I just got my refill in the mail today, so I was like, oh, let me look at the paperwork, right? Because the
yeah,
common side effect for me is loss of appetite and weight loss. That's the only side effect I get, and sleepiness.
I don't even trust
So
that autopsy though.
the thing of it is, when I first heard about that part of the autopsy, I said, well, maybe she did pass out and go to sleep. Because you can't, but see, I don't know what the drink was. I don't know if it was lean or alcohol because
They
that's
said they
different.
said Hennessy. Is that what they said? They
That
said Hennessy,
the
right?
entire
Well,
report, everyone that everything that everyone was saying, apparently everyone in that party was drinking Hennessy because that's what they. So one person said
Okay.
something about Hennessy and Red Bull, but pretty much everyone was saying Hennessy is what they were drinking.
Okay.
I really don't think that if a real thug from Chicago is made up in his mind that he's gonna rape some girl, I
Yeah,
don't
he's
think he
gonna
gives a
do it.
damn about what she takes
Mhm.
first.
Well, I'm talking about her body, what her system can take in terms of what the autopsy alleged.
Yeah.
and
That's what
Miss
I'm speaking of.
Miss Crenshaw, I don't know if you addressed this in your video or if I saw it somewhere else, but it was talking about the freezers being cold and the freezers kind of sobering you up. And I know here in my city, we have what we call the pink room. And it is basically a drunk tank. And if you get brought in for a DUI,
Hmm.
they put you in this basically like 20-degree room to sober your ass up.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it would sober you up. It would sober you. As a
So
matter of fact, they've said that it could even save someone's life if you were gonna have like on the verge, not like to where you would have alcohol poisoning, but right underneath it. When you are very, very cold, it's some make your blood. It has like I don't know when you're like really super cold, it flows differently, and it could actually keep people from I don't going into or having like what was it when I was reading up on it, going into like alcohol poisoning basically. So yeah, that's a whole nother thing that debunks what the bullshit that they're telling us. They're telling us that she took medication that and I don't remember seeing anywhere in these reports either where they were even questioning and looking into the records of did anyone related to this girl in this case or at this party even take any of this medication? We
But
never
you
got
know
the answer to
what?
that.
No one, not to interrupt you, but
Uh-huh.
even with Mama Teresa on the radio show, she just glossed over the fact of that medication.
there we go with that
Right.
Mama Teresa.
She just,
Right. Good
whether
old
she
Mama
took
T.
that
I hate
medication
that.
or not.
I
No
hate it.
one said whether she is on this medication. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, if that bothers you, but she
No,
didn't let
because
us know if
no,
she
because I feel like
on
they're
that
trying to.
medication or not. Like, that would help us to understand if Kanika
Hmm.
was epileptic, had migraines, or what. Like, or did somebody really just spike her drink?
I think all the reports said that she didn't take the medication and she didn't have epilepsy.
Her
The
mother
reports,
said
yeah,
she was not on any medication.
that's what she said.
Okay.
But she also said
Well,
Yeah.
she had asthma.
she had asthma,
She had yeah, she had some respiratory problem. It was I'm
so then she was
I'm
good.
99% sure that it was asthma, which is why the whole thymus thing was I had to make a video about that and why her, thymus wouldn't have been identified. Not that I once again I don't even like to really go too deep into that autopsy because I don't trust that county. I don't trust Cook County
Yeah.
as far as I don't trust that hotel as far I mean I just don't trust anything related, so I can't even really
Yeah.
go talk too deep about the autopsy because I don't trust it. I could sit here and point out things in it that I found that weren't quite right, but I just don't trust it at all anyways. It's a whole
Okay,
bunch
well
of
Hey,
this is
stuff.
hey, y'all.
something that's
Oh shit. Go
Uh-huh.
ahead.
kind of been bothering me. If she supposedly died from hypothermia, all I can think of is like the skiers and stuff that like get like on the mountaintop and can't get down and they die of hypothermia. Do they not have like frostbite fingers and appendages where they have like second and third degree burns from the cold? So why was none of her appendages or her lips or her fingertips discolored or frostbitten?
I
Because
talked
they
about that
lied.
briefly because she
Because
was dead when she was put in there. She wouldn't be laid out like the way that she was. She would be huddled. She would be like in a fetal position, or she would not be laying on her face if she was put in there alive. And she would also look, it would be a totally different scenario. She wouldn't just take her
You know,
breast out. She
She
wouldn't just
wouldn't be in
hang
the
it.
freezer area. She would be closer toward the door, if anything, because
Right.
not it's not that cold in the other part of the freezer. It's a cooler, then it's a freezer. So being that she's
what
in the
did they ever
freezer,
say? What the temperature of the refrigerator cooler was?
Yeah,
Like
they did. It
34
was,
degrees.
I
no,
think the freezer was 34, and the
freezer
fridge
was
was
40.
40.
Yep, it was
44, I think.
40
Was it
some,
40?
no, it was over 40. It was 40 something. I have that report too,
Yeah, it was
but yes,
44.
exactly. So that brings me back to when I said I believe that she was, they asked an employee what temperature were the freezers supposed to be set at. That employee said they are supposed to be set at 0 degrees. Much colder. You could actually start to freeze in a freezer that's set at 0 degrees. So she was dead. They put her in a freezer down there, and then when they were
Yes.
like, "Shit, what are we gonna do? We can't have a girl with our meat and right next to the steaks decomposing."
So they turned
right?
it on, but it
Dead.
didn't have time to reach 0 degrees.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
Mm.
Otherwise, if it was really on like they claimed, it wouldn't have been 30 to 40 degrees that quick.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And we're talking
I
about
do
20
too.
hours, as they say.
She
Yeah.
had
Right.
rigor mortis.
She had
You know, I
very.
also wanted to point out, I wanted to point this out real quick when you guys were talking about the autopsy. I also agree you can't really um depend on anything in the autopsy because it's kind of just like, but everything was done to cooperate the story of hypothermia. They wanted to give you that cause because what I was saying in the chat is someone had to know that that drug specifically would show cause of death as hypothermia. They had to have known that. So this is a person who had that experience in mixing. They knew that the alcohol would bring about a certain effect. It also talked about erosion. Like if you look up the drug, it talks about erosion once mixed with alcohol. So that meant, or probably eroded. So somebody had to. What basically what I'm saying is somebody had to know all of this
You want to know
specifically.
who
So
I think knew all of this?
who?
The,
The
the
Go
corner.
ahead.
coroner that cut
Of
and pasted
course.
that autopsy from some 56-year-old lady that accidentally froze outside. That's who I
Yeah.
think knows because those thugs don't know. The people in they didn't have time to give that much of it. This we have to think the coroner in the Cook County coroner works for he works in like right next to he works with the police basically. He works for the police with the police. They are all connected. It's kind of like
I agree with I agree
yeah.
with that 100%. But also, I think it's safe to not underestimate anybody. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's a common street thug. I don't care who it is because the way I approach the situation, I think about it as if I were the criminal. So I look at it, in the sense of what would I do, and I could think of some crazy shit. So, just having that thought process, I look at it like, my expectation of people is that we will do any and everything. So I don't have an expectation. You understand what I'm
Right,
saying? So
Oh,
like
I
I
right.
understand.
don't.
Yeah. Yeah, but I
I'm
just
not
don't
gonna
think that
say
they put that much forethought into it. I don't know if they even meant to kill her, or if she died
true.
when it
I, right,
accidentally.
right,
So I don't know if
right.
they had enough time and enough forethought to get because if she never made it upstairs, they didn't even have enough time to get her to have a drug even really hit her yet before everything popped off and she ended up dead and they had to shove her in a freezer and figure out what their next plan was. There's even a video that I just saw where it's in the lobby and you could see, okay, the security guard, the one and only infamous security guy, he's right, he walks up right in back of Monifa and he puts a phone down on the lobby desk. You could see him. He's in back of Monifa. Monifa looks back at him. Then she goes
Mm-hmm.
into the where the bathroom area is in the lobby, like that little like opening. And the guys, they
Mm-hmm.
follow
And the cat picks it
Monifa.
up.
They follow, no, the guys follow Monifa over there. And
Mhm.
then she tells them something, and then Monifa's walking back now with the security guard back into like the elevator area, and then the guys pick up the cell phone. So they're
Mhm.
all cool with
I
each
peeped
other.
it off. Mhm.
They're
That's
all
why I've
cool with
never.
each other.
That's why
Yeah,
I've never gotten off any of their asses. I've always looked to everyone, including the hotel as well as the police
hmm
department. Everybody is in cahoots. Like I don't think nobody should not be looked at. I mean, that's just in my perspective. Everybody should be looked at.
I agree.
That makes sense.
Mhm. Everyone.
Has anyone by chance listened to the lives in slow motion to see if they could catch the background conversations?
I wouldn't say I have listened to them in slow motion, but I have listened to them in the with the audio enhanced to where the background audio is enhanced. I have, yes, and you want to know what's hilarious? As a matter of fact, I sent him to Huggie. The police interpretation of those of what's being said. You want me to? You want me to send? You want me to send it to you, Huggie, so we
Yeah,
can all have a
yeah.
laugh at? Because the
Oh, this
cops
is silly.
apparently,
They trying to be funny.
And
yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
sounded like.
and while you're doing that, I want to make another point. Everybody
Mhm.
was conflicted about the upper kitchen and the lower kitchen. And I play a lot of those games where you have to find shit in the room. So I pay attention to detail.
Mhm.
And in the upper kitchen, you can see very clearly that table in the middle, down on the left corner, that grate is broke and there's no refrigerator, there's no freezers on the right wall. So if she'd have came through the door like she came through in the lower level kitchen, you'd have seen the refrigerators immediately to her left, the table on the left, and then the table down the center, and then she'd have went around to the door. But if you look at the table down the center, the grate is not broken. That's why I knew she was never in that upper kitchen. She was always in the lower level kitchen.
Yes, yes, yeah. Yeah. I agree. She was never in that kitchen until when she was already dead and starting to freeze, and they thought that well, okay, well, at least the freezer's at 34 degrees. They were cranked it all the way up to make it seem like she was in that freezer, just so it was at least cool.
But
Through it had the nerve to throw some pieces of ice in there too.
not only the ice, but they threw some trash up in there too. Because if you notice in certain
Yeah.
pictures, there's no trash, no ice. It's just clean in her body. And then in other pictures, there's the trash and the ice in her body.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
y'all really think we stupid? Well, what are y'all doing
Mhm.
here?
Yeah, I
Right.
noticed that too.
This is one big mockery.
Mhm.
Have you
Witchcraft.
found
Yeah.
that out? Have you found the details about the enhanced audio,
I'm looking
as
for
they
it.
say?
Do you have it ready? I'm looking. I have, I have gal. I'm not. I did not realize how many pictures regarding this case that I had in my phone. I'm okay. I see him. I found him.
Okay, I was just gonna look.
There's this yeah. Oh my god,
Okay, I'm looking at the
comedy.
chat, and yes, Mayhem said that I don't know if that's a male or female, said that they slowed down the Thai video, and you can hear a voice like Kanika's yelling, let her go, let me go." The reason why I asked about the slowing down of them, I read a conversation between two elderly ladies who actually said they slowed it down to zero point 0.5, and you could hear Kanika pleading for her life, and she referenced Bree and Maya as the two traders, but I don't think that they said too much about Monifa as of yet. But I was like, I wish I could slow it down and listen to it because I don't like that chanting in it because it's so demonic. But I've listened to it
Hmm.
to the point where I just can't listen to them anymore. So I was just wondering if anybody had actually had the chance to listen to them.
Okay, so if we go with
I
that
would.
narrative, then that means that she was in the room.
Well, I can't say because, like I
And
said, I
that's where
haven't.
you go wrong. Because if she's in the
Yeah.
room, nothing ever happened. She's
So
still in
y'all,
the
I,
room.
Yeah, I honestly believe she never made it to the room.
I, I didn't used to think that. I up until these case files came out, and I tell you, like I have been like, and Huggy knows too. Like I'll be up, like I've been getting only a few hours of sleep because I have been obsessed with, and they keep changing things. So I've been even more obsessed with finding some truth out before they delete it and before they get rid of it and before they switch it up because they're constantly doing that now. So after reading and researching it, I now don't believe that she ever made it up to the room. The more that I read into this, the more I look into this, the more I go back and forth and research and fact check. I don't
Hmm.
see any proof of her in that room.
I agree. I
Where
agree
was
with that.
she on video one time in the room?
Hmm.
One time. Because you think, even if someone did say, even let's say someone did say help me, what makes you think it's Kenneka? Her voice is very distinctive and very, like, she talked like her words ran together. It didn't sound like her to
Hmm.
me in any of those videos.
All right.
I thought originally
Oh,
maybe
hold
she
on.
was in the room at one point too, but then once I started going through the case files and the text message that really like worried me. That 7 minute text message was it was like well not 7 minutes, it was like okay, it showed her coming in 1:13, but the text message at 1:20 she's already talking about she's ready to go. Like
Right,
that was kind of troublesome to me. You know what I mean?
right.
Like that to me said a lot. I was like, I don't even know if she really even got to that
Exactly.
room
Because
for
remember,
real.
that's what they just said in the report I
Yeah.
read about her. Like, they had access to her phone. That's why
Exactly.
they wanted to throw that
Hmm.
in there because that wasn't her texting.
No.
All right, so we're watching on the screen here. I'm gonna let you do it because it's too funny. I probably wouldn't say it.
I would rather you want me. I can't say it.
And
But
that does not look like Irene.
like,
So is that the tranny?
I
I
think
don't know
so.
what that is. But the narrative that like
It's
the
a bet. I
Dissecting
know
video.
that.
Huggy, you have to do it, please.
All right. So it's this the event. Subject in red Black Hawks jersey is seen through the reflection of female subject glasses throughout the video. Video starts at what 12 o'clock, correct? Or is it just 00 as in time, correct? All right. Video
Yeah,
starts. Female subject, red orange hair, early 20s, wearing sunglasses.
red orange hair.
The infamous sunglasses. Let me get this right. So, because I'm trying to screen share, but I'm gonna have to read it from my point of view here. All right. Female subject mentions the name Bree Bree. Not funny as F, but it's
Yeah,
Bree
yeah,
Bree.
yeah. You funny as hell.
Male subject appears to states we about to murder her. Female subject says that's your male. Female states, damn, my shit turned red. Female states, yeah, it's big, ain't it? Male black subject buzzed hair. Black people don't have blood there. Stop it. Early 20s. All right,
Where
this is the male, right? Let me zoom in. This is the
that's Bree
male.
Bree,
Okay,
is it not?
is that Bree Bree? It look like Bree Bree to me, right?
That's Bree Bree.
Oh
That's
man.
that's the picture I
Now the more I
sent
look at
you.
it, that look like. Oh, you sent me this?
Yeah,
That's
but she had like a rainbow on the top, no hair on the very top. Remember?
that's
That
because
look
her
like a
ponytail's on
ponytail.
the other
Like
side.
yeah, like right here. That look like the ponytail area. Like right here.
Yeah.
I'm like straight drop now. See right
They called
here.
her a
See
man.
right here. Right here. She was killed. Killed. Now
Hey, stop talking
I'm
about my
fucking with you
dude.
straight drop. That's my guy though. I'm playing straight drop, bro.
Stop
I
talking
don't
about
want
my
no
dude.
problems, bro. Yeah, but anyway. So let me share the other screen because there's more to this madness. In a second.
He said it's big, ain't it? What? At what point did they say that?
Yeah. All right. So let me make sure
Did
we.
anybody else hear them
Okay.
say that?
All right. Here go the next one. It says
Yeah.
unknown subject. It's the unknown subject. All right. 247 is the
The
top
booger wolf.
photograph. 303 the male subject appears to be moaning. Female appears to be stating they raping someone in there. Female faintly in the background, possibly saying, help me. Possibly. All right. Loud music starts playing. Unknown subject. Let me scroll
Subject.
down. Male states, girl, you tripping. Female states, Anita ain't here. Female states, girl, I'm not drunk. I heard that part in the video for real, so
Right.
got that right. Two female subjects speaking. One states, girl, you need to enjoy yourself. The other replies, girl, I am enjoying myself. Female subject picks up another cell phone.
Because she had like 20.
And and you know what's funny? You know what's funny about all this?
Hmm.
Is that it? As if there wasn't more to it. But that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Because what about the park in the parking lot and all that other crap? They left all that out. That let you know they was like, at this point, they was like, Bill, I can't do this no more, man. You finishing up. No, leave it as it is. That's basically what they did. Like, you didn't even want to clear up the rest of the recording.
And then
But anyway,
they said they called one person a subject, and then they called the female a male. Like, what type of half-ass?
yeah.
Oh my god! But so that's what I've been dealing with these case files. I wish I've had people to like talk to as I've been reading this stuff. Like, either I'm finding something that is breaking my heart and opening up my eyes, or I'm laughing my ass off at like the stupidity of what they put together. I was in shock that they were so stupid to let me view that that narrative, and they put red outlines instead of blacking it out. Did you guys see that?
I saw it on the screenshot you
That,
skipped, but that goes back to them rushing to release stuff because being a software developer, you're supposed to check this stuff 1,000 times, but a lot of times we don't have time. If the client is rushing, you push it out, and there are mistakes in it.
right.
Yeah. Well, I'm very glad that they did make that mistake though, because I never would have found that picture of Kenneka otherwise, and I never would have. I never would have found I never would have seen the name Sierra, and I never would. I mean, I basically pieced together everything I pieced together from their mistake.
So has anyone downloaded the file, or are
No,
you just going online and reading it?
I've been going online
I
reading it,
guess.
and I've been like screenshotting or some things I'll download if it's like if it's a page that I feel like I know that I want to save this and I want to have this, I'll save it or download it onto my phone. Other than that, though, I've just been taking a ton of screenshots and going back and putting different things into different albums because everything is out of order in that case file. So I've just been trying to make sense out of it in my own way.
Do you by chance know how big it is?
Oh, it's huge. They said something like I don't remember how big someone said it was, but it was like 500.
Hmm.
So it's way too big.
Yeah, it's about probably about 500 gigabytes. I would say
Yeah,
the
that's what.
videos
Yeah,
alone are about 300
500.
gigabytes.
yes, it
Yeah, because the
is.
video they're
Because
like
all the
you have
videos on there.
the
Yeah.
videos and they're like
Uh,
exe files, so the
Mm-hmm.
files are huge.
oh
Right. One
wow.
guy said he had no room on his like computer or like external hard drive. He had to like he's like it's not worth downloading
I
the
got a four
entire thing.
terabyte though. I got
Huh?
one. I might snatch out it. I got a 4 terabyte just
Hmm.
sitting in my box. I ain't even opening it.
Well,
You
you
Yeah, I
better
should have
got
done
one.
it
snatch it.
when it came out because they're changing shit daily.
Yeah, they are.
Every day that you go on there, a majority of the case files will now have the date listed of whatever day it is date. When they came out, they all had the 20th, and then slowly but surely they started like changing more and more and more and more. And it's crazy that they're editing so much. But and I've caught quite a few edits, like the text messages that they took out. They cut out a text message. When you go look at Kanika's text history for the night now, they took out that text message. Like they're I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know why they're hiding whatever it was that happened that night before she got to the hotel that has nothing to do with the hotel.
So, Huggy, are you believing that this happened on the ninth now?
Is that what you want me to believe?
No, I'm asking. That was the
Yeah,
question.
yeah, we want to know.
Nah, I don't believe it. I believe that something happened on the 6th, the 7th, and possibly the 8th. But I still lean more toward the 6th because as we see, we still don't really have no evidence that she was actually murdered on the ninth or the
Okay,
8th or any of that.
okay, but that worker the security guy that works at that liquor store, he only worked on the weekend. So it
Right.
couldn't have happened on the day that you're
Right.
stating, because he wouldn't have been there to witness that happening. So that's why I full heartedly believe now that it did happen to her. And also, she would have actually been frozen if they would have had more time. There's no way that it happened sooner. I
But
used to be a firm believer it happened on the 6th, but
but
now I know why they had that
but
ticket.
but
I showed you the receipt from the 6th.
I know. But you got to also question the motive of switching, information or editing stuff as we speak. And it shows how dumb they really are. They just keep changing things up. That could be something to, I guess you could say, kind of detour us away from the idea of the six. Put her somewhere in the mix where she has to be seen at a later date. Just like you said, you got thrown off and you don't believe the six no more because you got thrown into a situation about a liquor store issue where there was a murder.
Right, but
So
that
that
would
so
have
that
been
kind of
even.
push you in the mind that the six don't exist that she died.
But why would it benefit them in any way? Like if she died on the 6th, she died on the 6th.
Why
But
would it
I don't
benefit to
understand.
cover all this up? So we got to question that too. That's the big cover up that we know that it's possible that she was killed in a hotel, and they hiding everything about her even being murdered to begin with. And
Well, and then if
it's
they
so much tampering, you don't really know. It's like you can't really give your honest answer about what really happened. Was it the sixth, the seventh, eighth? You don't really know.
And
well
you
It
my
have to.
was.
th- my
Well,
thing
I
is
mean,
if it
you don't
happened.
even let me say this. You don't even know if she was alive on the 10th or not, because they're not even clear. And I remember Zach saying something about a hospital. So what if she was transported and you tell the people she was so frozen solid when she never was frozen solid according to the medical report? But who's to say that she was and not? It's so much conflict even in her death. So much
well th-
conflict in her death. You don't even know if she got. There's no official death certificate. There's no official obituary. There's no official name of the girl, first and last name documented for birth or anything. This is this is the
Social
this
security
is bigger.
number
This is
either.
bigger than not. This is bigger than 9/11. When you think about how mysterious this is. So,
well Zach also said
oh,
something about a needle and shoving her with a needle. But
what?
say
right, yeah.
yeah, but
Oh my God.
also
What?
saying
Did you
that
guys see
though,
that picture of her? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt you, but the needle, did you see? Remember how I brought up the cousin? The cousin that I said is the fake one?
uh-huh.
The picture of her, the picture of her on her Facebook page that she posted the very day that all of this happened, on the 8th, when she finally straightened her hair. Her caption on that photo okay, it's I'm gonna be so pretty, can't wait for my long hair, can't wait. And then right after that, when she writes a post about Kenneka, um that she writes, as a matter of fact, her current profile picture, it says, it's a picture of them as like kids that she dug out of wherever, and the caption is four purple hearts and four needles.
What's her name?
It's Ty. It's. Want me to send you a? Want me to have him put it on the screen? It's Ty Sean Mommy.
Yes, please put it on the screen.
Okay.
But
I'm.
here's my question. This is the only reason why I'm
I can
thinking
pull
that
her
it did.
profile up. I remember. Hold on, let me pull it up. I got you.
This is the only reason why I'm thinking it did not happen on the ninth. Because if the cousin is playing the fake Kanika on the 8th, you said she made a post talking about, I have long hair, I'm so pretty, blah, blah, blah. Some point they had to set that up. And if she died on the 9th, how is the cousin getting ready for the reenactment on the 8th?
Well, we do know
Okay.
somebody
I don't think
reenacted her
that.
on the ninth. There's a reenacting
Yeah,
girl in that hotel.
there is
That's
a
for damn
reenacting girl,
sure.
because I don't think that they meant for her to die. I think that the cousin was in on it, because obviously the cousin ain't that close, because we haven't even seen or heard of the girl, and she's in the city.
Right, but
So
but
she's been staying away.
how did she prep to get for the reenactment?
Because she probably thought that they were gonna, that she probably knew what she was gonna be doing, but she probably just thought her cousin was gonna get jumped or something. You know what I mean? She was in on it for sure. She,
But
but she
if
was
you
100% in on it.
That's a wicked ass family. I would never do that to family, even if I was mad at them
I'm
and didn't talk to
man,
them.
I know it's cold. It's very very it's very when I my heart like dropped when I was coming across all of this stuff, and when I was like Sierra Jackson. There ain't no Sierra Jackson. There's no goddamn Sierra Jackson. They made up the last name, but they said a real first name in that report because they're gonna just tell a little bit of the truth, but not trying to give everyone's information away. So they lied about but then I was able to. I was like, oh, when I came across the real
So
Sierra.
her name is Sierra what?
Her name in real life is Sierra Croft. She is um she is Kenneka's cousin, her actual cousin, and they look just alike. And Huggy, if you could bring up her current post where she has and it's not the first time she put the needles.
You said the current post?
Her current post, the profile picture, I think is her. I don't. It was when I made the video, anyways. Her profile picture, the current one. If you go to that one,
You said profile picture, or you saying a status?
her current profile picture is captioned with, see, there it is right there. Look at the hearts and the needles.
Let
What
me
Wait.
go in and see how I can see it.
you see it?
So you got
Oh,
four hearts and four
Tyshawn.
needles. Yep. Did y'all see it?
No.
I see
The
it.
hearts, there's right
I
there. The
zoomed it
caption.
in. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Let me go over this way. You see it now?
Oh shoot. My computer's lagging behind. Yeah, I see it.
It's big, yeah.
Mhm.
But Zach said something about sticking her with a needle.
Well, I mean, there you go.
And when
Those
I look
needles
at
gave
this,
me chills when I saw those too. And when you said that,
that's
I
it.
never even heard about Zach or like TV saying anything about needles or anything like that. So I, but
This is so horrific.
And what do y'all and on the real? What do y'all see when y'all see that girl that was in the hotel? What do you see when you see this girl?
The girl that was in the hotel.
Yeah. Mm.
Bingo.
see, look, that's her. She looks
And
just like Kanika, but her top lip is a little bit smaller, and
smaller. Yep.
her face is like a little. Her face is a little bit longer. It's a little bit like thinner, and her boobs are smaller,
Her nose is
and
pointier. The tip of her
her
nose.
nose exactly. And like I said in the video, I knew when I got to that part of the video that I was at that point. Everything else I said to you guys, I was verified. I had the pictures. I would tell you guys where the pictures came from. I would send you the pictures. I have no problem. But I knew I was speculating when it came to her. But in my heart, that's who I'm looking at in the surveillance camera. That's who I'm looking at in that Snapchat
Purple
video.
pacifier, purple bandana, purple colors. Let me get out this chick page. She evil.
Well, that's how I feel about the whole Mother Teresa. I feel like they're playing with
Oh,
us and they're
hey,
trying to make a
yeah,
mockery of the Mother Teresa, the nun Mother
right. The
Teresa.
saint, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and they're
Uh-huh.
doing a play on words. And
Um,
because even when it first came out, Jedediah, all he said was, Mama T this and Mama T that, and everybody was calling her mama. And it never set well with me. And then when I heard it, it was like somebody was like Mother Teresa, and I was like, wait a minute, hold up, that's not
Book said those symbolize family. I'm
what
lost.
symbolized family.
A
What
blood
blood?
oath.
The needles.
You ain't gonna tell me no purple hearts mean anything. We know what the purple hearts mean, her favorite color, and they mean they love her. If you love her, tell us her real favorite color, because it ain't purple.
What's the favorite color? Huggy.
It ain't purple. We don't know. We know it ain't purple. She never wore it. It never said it. We
So
do
how
know
she
her
get the
favorite thing was to. We do know her favorite thing was to sleep with a knife in her room.
so how she get the purple drawers on?
That's symbolic. That's the part of the game.
Okay.
We don't know
Yeah,
what panties they put on
that
her.
was kind of odd. That was kind of odd that she got purple panties on. We ain't never seen with purple.
Right.
And and Mama staying purple. I feel what you're saying, Bulls, but purple hearts. It ain't no red hearts. If it was red hearts, I would feel you on it. Not purple.
I just sent you a picture. If you remember, in the chat right now, in the Hangout one, the other Teresa Martin Facebook page.
Hold on. Let's see.
Remember that picture? Huggy was all
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
tripped out.
Hold on. Let me send this. I know where that profile is. Let me go get the profile. Y'all wanna have some nightmares tonight? Let me go log in. Give me a second.
One
It's
day
gonna really, it's gonna really
I
fuck
was
y'all
searching
up.
just like
Hold on.
I was searching Teresa in general, and I was searching. I had actually found out it's very odd to me that I could not find Kenneka like linked to, because I have paid subscription to all kinds of sites to look up and verify, do background checks and everything, and I could not find Teresa linked to Kenneka, but I did find that the Sierra girl, the Sierra Croft. She is linked to Teresa. When you look her up, Teresa Martin is in her associates. Like she's related to her in some way, or an associate of hers, like in some way. And I started looking up all kinds of different Teresa Martin pages and whatnot, and I came across this one and like wanted to scream in the phone.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, it was bad.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun.
We still haven't found out why Teresa
Dun,
had.
dun, 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 dun.
Oh my God.
Look at that. Yeah,
Dun, 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 dun,
that's
dun, dun.
Teresa Martin.
Dun, 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 dun. That's kind of, and then look, what a coincidence. It came out
What?
around the time. It came out the same day she died. Ain't that something? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
And why is that clown all purple?
That's what I was
Dun,
just
dun,
gonna
dun, dun, dun,
say.
dun. Dun, 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 dun.
What type of shit
Dun,
is
dun,
that?
dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
This too much.
Yeah, it's horrible. Stop it now. Okay, that's enough. And it's sick bastard is the
Okay, I'm kidding. Let me get off this. Let me back
girl,
it
you
up.
playing now, but the day I showed you that, you were like, what?
Not
I
the
was like,
creepy
what's this?
clown.
You were all creeped
Yeah.
out.
And then the
Oh,
crazy thing is, they were supposed to be going to see it that night,
yeah, they were supposed to be
Right.
going to see it. Yep.
but it was sold out or
She
something.
and Ty
She decided
followed her
she wanted
there too.
He said, I'm not looking at Huggy's pic. Turn your head now.
Did she actually changed her profile picture to the creepy clown?
No, no, that's a
That's
No,
different
no, that's
page
a that's
under
a
the
fake
name Teresa
profile, and
Martin.
it was from March. For some
Oh,
reason, it came out in March, and
got it.
that with the, that's kind of weird though. That profile picture was up in March, not March, May 22nd.
It's a lot of
Okay,
weird stuff going on. But it's getting ready. We gonna get to the bottom of it because they gotta know that they done. We like a pit bull. We gonna hold on till we get tired.
word. Yeah, so
did.
well, go ahead.
Huggy, I remember at one point you said something about Teresa Martin that wasn't even her real name or something.
I was saying I couldn't find if that was her real name or not, but the last name is still questionable. You know what I mean? Her last name could be a different last name because she could be an in-law. Could be
When
married
I
to
was,
somebody that's
yeah,
married. Yeah, like Jenkins is her daughter's last name and different dad, and Lenore last name is Harris. Teresa Harris may be her last
let
name.
me let me look, because when I
No.
was looking her up, when was doing like the background stuff, I did find two other. I found two other associated last names for her that she used, like, and I guess in North Carolina she had like some like traffic like tickets and whatnot. And the last names were, she went by like Teresa Pattersaw, Pattersaw. And then the other last name was like Hiley, like Hiligh. So I came across those, but they didn't really give me, when I searched those names, they didn't give me a lot of information at all. I got the majority of her information on her past history, uh, phone numbers, email addresses, where she lived from Teresa Martin. So she probably had some aliases at some point in time, but who knows? Who knows with that lady?
Did we ever figure out where the ticket for the six come in for the hotel?
That yeah, there that was where I mean I'd have to go. I need to see if I could go back and look. I definitely have that somewhere. I have so many.
I showed the receipts.
You showed the receipts, but those were for all of the rooms except for 926 because they had the 926 one in a separate
930 was the 930 was the one that had the six on it.
that had 926.
Yeah, but wasn't
No,
that
no,
ticket purchased? But wasn't that ticket purchased on like Expedia or Hotels.com or something?
No,
I'm
all
not.
those receipts that
Hold on, let me pull it up. I got it. Hold on, let me see.
yeah, there's different ones, and like some of so, like one was purchased on hotels.com, and then two of them were purchased on like some other site like like Expedia or whatever, and then
Right.
one of them was
So,
used with the card that was the stolen credit card.
but I don't. I think that was the 930 room that was used with the
Well,
stolen credit card.
well, if you look at the room that says, actually, it says the room that with the credit card thing. You see how it says 924? It says room number on top. But if you look down on the description, it's actually a purchase for two different rooms. So I don't know why they only wrote one of the rooms on the top of that receipt, but that was a purchase for two different rooms, and that's why it says the total was 271.32 because it was for the room tax plus 119 each room. And I have somewhere, I just have to look through all of this. I'm looking right now to see the other receipt for that's what started the whole thing with the charges for and the search for that girl is because she was actually the one that went up to the desk um, for the to purchase that room, the 926 room. I don't know why they needed another damn room because they had so many already, but whatever.
Well, I'm cold with this hangout. Can y'all see all four receipts? Yes or no?
Back page.
Yeah,
Right.
see. Here we go. We go to the first receipt. It says 930. Can let me know if y'all can see this.
Blow it up some.
All right, there we go. I'm gonna blow it up as big as I can get it.
Okay.
All
No, that's
right,
perfect.
IHG. Yeah, IHG reward is 930 right here. It says 996, 910 checkout. Cashier number 13. Let's scroll over. The second receipt, 927, 97 to 911. High wire, cashier number 13. And scroll over. High wire,
I just sent you another
928, 7th
video.
and 11th. Checkout number 13. Hot wire. All right. We scroll over. This is the one that's weird right here. 926, 98, 910. Cashier number 13. Company NA. And we go down to the very bottom here. Let me zoom it out because I
Oh, it
want to
did
make
say
sure y'all.
926 on it. You did have 926 right there.
Yeah, this is not 24. I don't have 926.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for right now
Yeah, I
too.
don't have 926. I'm double checking. Nope. This is
But you have every
924.
other hotel room on that row.
Yeah, I got every one of them. And this is 924, by the way. As you can see here, the charge is 271.32. The card number ended in 2306. Whoever card they stole, I feel sorry for you, buddy. Because they took a lot of money off this card. I remember seeing the receipts of that.
Yeah.
But here we go. Everybody saw that? Let's close that
And I'm
out.
looking for the other one. I just sent you another picture too. That's unrelated. As I was looking through these pictures, I found the one that shows all the broken cameras, supposedly broken cameras. So I sent that to you too. If anybody else wants to see that, where they're claiming those cameras were broken.
Right. That's still what they say. say.
And if they
Hmm.
say that that upper kitchen was rented out to somebody, I want to find out who it was rented to.
Well, the with the restaurant that Bill Murray's about to open, that's who it's being contracted like to, I guess. So that's what they were getting ready for. That's why they had supposedly contractors in that area. For all we know, there was a contractor working in that area that fucked snatched Kanika up and did something to her. You know, I mean, we really don't know. All I know is something happened to her and someone killed her and put her in a freezer.
Told you, man, you can't trust, man. When Hollywood gets involved with these places, they don't tell
Okay,
them
I
what's
found
gonna
it.
happen. You found it? 'Cause I
I
got
found
it
the
in my.
nine-26.
Oh, you found the 926. Send me that, because I
It
wanna
was
show
in a
that one.
totally different spot, but I found it.
I'm still stuck on
Yeah,
the.
these files are crazy. Oh, here we go. I sent it to you right now in the chat. Okay.
All right,
All right.
all right,
You're saying you're still
here
stuck
go,
on what?
I'm still
here go
stuck
the
on the
picture.
unresponsive. Like that has just totally blown me all night tonight. Like because just say she was unresponsive, wouldn't protocol be to call for backup
Yeah.
or call for help or something?
Here goes
Yeah.
unoperable camera summary, camera location identifier, date, repair date. Kosher kitchen is where she was
Kosher
found.
kitchen.
That's what they call it, the kosher kitchen. Ironically, the Jewish
Right.
word for permissible. For those that don't know, freight elevator, and then you got the main elevator, back office, employee parking area, and laundry too. Which is
Exactly. All that whole little
ironic that
area.
laundry one works, but laundry two don't.
Oh yeah,
Silly,
because
but
laundry one they didn't have to go that way.
right.
That's crazy. And then look at the top. They made this on friggin' like just they just went onto some Excel or Word and just typed that up real quick. I don't believe that
Now
that
you can
even
tell
came
they
from the
typed that
Crown
up
Plaza.
because the identified number is there, but the unknown, everything else is unknown.
Yeah.
Like, stop it, bro. Please,
Yeah, like come on.
please
Unknown.
stop. What else did you send though?
I just sent the ticket that you wanted for the 926.
Oh,
Just so that you have all the rooms. So how many tickets was that? Was that 5? Technically that's 6 rooms because one of those tickets had two.
Wait a
It was
minute. Wait, whoa. I got a question. Go back to the inoperable camera thing.
okay. Hold on 1 second.
So there's a column that says date discovered inoperable and then date repaired or whatever. So you mean to tell me you didn't find out none of these cameras were working until after she died? Like you didn't know this beforehand?
I can't see the screen.
He hasn't
Yeah,
put it
hold
up
on.
yet.
Yeah, hold on. I'm
Oh
And
putting both of
and
them
no.
up.
No,
I'm
that's the
putting
day
both
that
up at the
they're
same
that
time.
the 914. That's the day that they're claiming that it was fixed. They're saying
no, there's two columns. There's one that says date discovered inoperable and then one that says date fixed or whatever. So
yeah.
if they discovered it was inoperable, that means that there should have been a camera there. Why did we never see the cameras there? Because they lied and said that there was not even any cameras in the area.
There's a camera. I did a different video on and I show that camera in that video. There's a camera with a red light on and also in this paperwork in the file work when supposedly there wasn't one working. Supposedly
So
there
who
wasn't
is the
even one working.
security people that sit there and watches the screen that has every camera on it? It's not black, it's not fuzzy, it's not I mean like
They the,
it just
they
shows
acted
us.
like they acted like they didn't have a security person. What they had said, which I don't even know if it's true or not, is that they don't even have access to the security cameras. Only the management does.
So if you have security personnel on staff, that's bull. I'm calling bullshit on that
I
because
agree.
again, when you have security there, you have all the cameras on one screen. You have 20 boxes, and they kind of glance over to see if anything odd is there. So they're trying to say that that's in management's office and only management has access to it.
Well, that's what they. I mean, they said a lot of things that didn't make any. Yes, I agree that it doesn't make sense. I call bullshit also, um, but that's what they said. That's what they said because they claim that when Teresa was asking to see the cameras or could they even look at the cameras, that whoever was there said um that they couldn't even look at the cameras they until their manager was in. They didn't have access to it. How
There
much
you
truth
go.
there was to that. Now in a bit now, like I work the where I work at, it's a much smaller uh like business. So it is true that the staff, like I have access to view the cameras, but the rest of the staff doesn't. Like only management does. But that's a small, you know, store. It's not the same as like this hotel. I would imagine that they should have not just a manager, but also supervisors, also other people that are in charge, and there should be a security personnel that watches cameras as well. Otherwise, what's the security person doing? What's their
Right.
Let me
job?
know. Let me know if y'all see that.
Yeah, it says this date discovered inoperable. So you mean to
Right.
tell me that nobody has, even management, when they're sitting in the office doing paperwork, those
Mm-hmm.
one, two, three, four, five, six, seven cameras, none of them are black or fuzzy or what is it showing? A still shot? I mean, like, come on.
They're just they don't they just it was just didn't work at all. Just a totally
And
black
over and
screen.
over and over here goes 926. Oh, infamous 926.
Yep.
Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see. Let me know if y'all can see. Let's scroll all the way over here. Yeah, we already over. All right, we got 155 is cashier number
Oh, see, that's
155. Now,
normally a
now
different
that's what's
cashier.
funny because that's a different cashier number. 926 now for the seventh, the ninth, and here go the charges 321. You got miscellaneous all other card number 5939. There you
Hey, you
go.
know what I
Why is
noticed
that one
also?
so expensive? That one's 321,
Because
but
that was
then
for 2 nights. That's for 2 rooms. Look at the charges. It's for see it says room charge and then room tax and it's twice. So they paid for two. They paid for two.
to what?
2 nights because it's from the
But
7th. Huh?
there was also another one. I think it was 927 that they paid for 2 nights, and
Yep.
it was only what 231.
There was what here, could you go do you have the other ones up?
Yeah,
But
I
if you
pull all of
also
them up.
notice too, okay, the only one that they got in trouble for or that they even brought up was this one. And this one has a different cashier, so it probably wasn't a cashier that was in on the scam because every single one of those other receipts, they're all rung up by cashier number 13, who's probably management or something because if your number is only 13 and the other cashiers have like 155, you've been there for a minute. And all of those were purchased from like same cashier, and we never even really heard about that. We only really heard about someone getting like files being charged against the person that rented the room 926.
Which makes me wonder if maybe the hotel had their own little fake card that they use, and if the hotel is known for prostitution, they got some kind of kickback out of it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. And there's three.
Because they could
Man,
even, you know what else they might be doing? They might be paying for the rooms or whatever with a stolen
I
credit
got
card,
all four
and then they could
receipts
go
here.
in and
And
cancel
reverse the
their
charges.
yeah, and cancel their stay and get their money back for maybe that's why they had so many rooms because one or two of them they weren't even going to really like stay in. Who knows? Who knows? All I know is that there's a reason why all those goddamn rooms were included in the report, even though they didn't really mention them. They're included in there for a reason because they're part of the investigation.
So that's
I
for
ain't gonna
four
not.
nights. So how much is that one?
This one is there's no price on it.
We'll go back to the one that has a credit card on it.
Yeah, there's two
This
that
is
have a
not.
credit card
It's
thing on
not.
it.
It's not 24. It's 2 days. And if y'all remember, it was a room charge of $50. $50 miscellaneous charge was $50 on the other one.
Oh,
But
so they
this one's
charge something for the
271.
room.
Yeah. And here's the cashier number 13928. I mean not 28. Yeah. And here goes another one.
Good old cashier
No price
13,
on that. Yeah. Lucky number, isn't
right?
it? That's ironic. So
Dr.
guys,
Oz have Seek Peek lady with the Dr. Oz needs to see my video and ask some questions. God damn it. That's what she
Here's the question about Dr. Oz. How early was it pre-recorded?
right. Is it a live
Was it?
show? I'm not familiar with
I
Dr.
don't think
Oz.
it's a live show, but was it pre-recorded before the pictures came out? Like, did
Uh,
they record it after the autopsy report?
they probably record that right after that. When she got quiet, I believe that's when everything went into action.
because didn't on the radio though, didn't she talk about the being on Dr. Oz as if it hadn't happened yet, like she was about to be? Didn't she? I can't. I didn't
They
watch
probably
the whole
recorded
thing.
it sometime today or yesterday. They probably gonna get their edit on. Probably call up Cassandra. Give them a hookup. Do their thing and present it to the world. She going on a world tour.
Did you
She'll be
all
on Project.
show?
She'll surely be on Breakfast Club. She's gonna be on Dr. Phil. What's the guy? Dr. Phil. Is that
Oh,
his name?
someone's asking, did you all show that new picture of Kenneka? I came that the new picture of Kenneka. Yeah, I put it in the video. Did you
Yeah.
see? Do you have it?
You people were supposed to see the video before you got here. Now I'll go to that. I'll go there and I'll show the video or show the picture of her on the video.
Nancy Grace is going to be on Dr. Oz with them as well.
Who is?
Nancy
Word?
Grace.
Wow.
Hmm.
Because there was a picture of Dr. Oz, Nancy Grace, um, Teresa, and Lenora.
She's gonna talk. Wow.
Is she going to be
Every-
awake?
Man, you better get to your boo and tell her she better shake and bake.
I hit the wrong button. All right, let me know if everybody can see this picture. Oh, hit the wrong button. Let me know if y'all can see this picture. I'm gonna blow this up. Can y'all see it?
It's a damn shame that they never showed us any recent pictures of this girl.
And that's the recent one.
And if you blow it up, like if you watch it, if you were like see that and were to blow it up, you'll see that her nail, like the way she looks in the freezer. I mean, down to even the tattoo, like the one that's faded is faded the exactly, like there's no faking, like they're not that damn good because they're sloppy clearly in everything else that they do. Well, the only thing I know is that this girl that's standing right there in that Snapchat photo is the girl that's in the freezer.
I've been looking at that photo. Is that a full jacket that she has button up at the bottom and pulled to the back?
Yeah.
Or is that a
Yeah.
shirt?
That's a jacket, and she buttoned it up for like all the way to the bottom, but she unbuttoned it at the top and she put it off her shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah. The 19-year-olds grow up very fast, don't they?
I'm just saying, if she wanted to show some cleavage, there was a better way to do it than that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad I ain't got no daughter. I wouldn't know what to do. 'Cause I know girls could be so innocent and they could be raised and get caught up with people like Monifa and
Well,
Irene.
look at how Teresa dresses. What was her Facebook name? Like Hot Mama
Hot
or
hot mom,
oh God,
hot chick. Yeah, she's hot chick.
Hot Chick. Yeah, yeah, Teresa
Yeah, she know
Hot
she
Chick.
you know she old school. She couldn't even say hot girl. She's hot chick.
And how old is Lenora?
She's
25.
25 or 26. Yeah.
And
Yeah, Lenore's 25.
she wasn't that darn innocent. She had been pregnant twice.
Who? Kanika?
Yeah.
I mean,
Now
I
what
don't
I'm
know that
saying
she was
is,
pregnant. I don't know if
I'm
she
being
was pregnant.
sarcastic. Oh, she was pregnant twice.
She was pregnant twice.
Yeah. Yeah, dating her cousin and everything. And what
I'm
happens?
saying
You get
I
terrorizing
don't
them. You
think that
get
that's her
listen.
cousin. They said
Yeah.
that Birdie, who is her cousin, it was a totally. They showed pictures and like that's a totally different guy. That guy doesn't look
Somebody in the chat room
like.
asked me what am I eating. Somebody's eating on the panel. Who was that?
It's not me.
And you're not sharing.
I'm not eating.
Oh man. Somebody said I sound tired. I don't sound tired. I have to be quiet because I'm on the third floor. There's patients up
If you
here.
just look at that Teresa Martin clown photo, you won't be tired no more.
Oh man.
I know I'm gonna be exhausted tomorrow at work. My alarm goes off in like 45 minutes.
Oh
I
God.
thought we were supposed to get on here at 9 o'clock. What happened? Did I not get the memo?
No, it wasn't 9 o'clock. It was 2 o'clock. I just
It
put this up at
was
1 o'clock. Yeah. He talking about earlier when I was live. I said I had to get up at 9. I had to go to work. I didn't say I was gonna come back at
No,
9.
I thought over the weekend y'all said 9 o'clock, 9ish on Monday.
Oh yeah, well stuff
Oh
happens.
yeah. Yeah. That's right. We did say something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Part
you
of that.
normally do a preview and let us know if the time change, Huggy. Come on now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't want to promise you 9, and then next thing you know, you see me
You
changing
see,
the time. Y'all like,
you
hold
were
up.
too busy on someone else's chat.
Was
Right.
because I've been sitting up all night looking for y'all, flipping through folks'
I
pages.
like
I'm
how she tried to
like,
make excuses as if she had it done. You weren't even ready. So don't do me like that.
I know.
I wasn't gonna bust you out, but I had to
I
do it now.
know.
She wasn't even ready
No, it
because she
wasn't
knew
that.
I had. Because first of all, I told her to have it done before I leave, so it'd be easier for me to do it. See, I'm out here. I don't have the tools. I don't have the downloader. I don't have the editing process. I can have it done in minutes. Here, I had to plug my phone up, download what she did, uh, send it unlisted, all that crap. I had to figure out stuff to do between two computers.
she was getting the metadata together.
I was
Right.
getting the data
Yeah.
together, guys.
And and then I forgot originally to put the
Ah,
last part in, so he added that in there for me, and then it took forever. And I never uploaded a video that long, so it didn't upload right away for me. I had to go a different route to get it. I was like, this is going to get posted tonight, no matter. I'm not going to just leave this for another day because I already didn't want to wait this long. But
and we have more to come.
oh my God. Yeah. If you guys want more information, like I said, I went through, I have one Kanika album and I gave you all the information from that. But there's so much more that really needs to get out there.
Because it's something we need to talk
so
about
so
that
so
information
Huggy
too.
are you gonna make a cover up video?
Oh no, I'm not doing a cover up. We already done it. It's called Rabbit Hole 1, 2, and 3. The key cover up was Bill Murray. Been told y'all that. But if y'all peep game, I showed y'all what Hollywood is capable of doing. If Hollywood gets involved with this hotel, they probably will pull off stuff like this, where they take a certain individual, and she might have been a sacrifice, and the mom might have been in on it. If the mom wasn't in on it, they probably got her involved, whether she like it or not. And that's why she's on the world tour. You ever see somebody lose their child and they going on a world tour? Like she's a rapper.
Nope, sure
Oh
haven't.
Got a
God.
new album coming out.
She's going on a world tour.
I'm just joking. I'm joking, but if you just did the radio station, you going on Dr. Oz, you know the big shows are coming. The View, is that what it's called? Is it still called The View? The girl show.
Yes, it's still
You know,
called The View and The
what's that
Talk.
chick? What's that she chick name? What's her name?
Wendy
Wendy
Williams.
Williams. She going to Wendy Williams. She going
Nah,
to Breakfast Club. You know she going. She'll show up. You know she coming. Our heart radio is gonna give her that phone call. She gonna come
that
on
low
Breakfast Club.
grade
It's gonna be a
fame,
thirty
huh?
minute. It's
Man.
gonna be a 30-minute interview. What she better do, because I'm recording her. She better keep her lines in order. If I catch her slipping, you know, like Dr. Oz, she better be on point. You better be on point today.
Did you see where somebody made a video where was it?
Somebody made a video.
It might have been Chosen. You know, I'm not a fan of Chosen, but where he said that she dropped her script or whatever, and it had like the
Nobody likes
question.
Chosen. Man. Why y'all don't like Chosen?
Uh, I like Chosen as much as I like Mike Larry.
he
Oh.
talk he talk a lot. He talk a lot nicer than I do. He don't curse at all. He's a nice guy.
Who?
Oh.
Chosen, he's nice. What is
Oh,
so
okay.
mean about Chosen? Be for real. Be honest.
Too many folks. We'll have that conversation.
Yeah.
Ah,
No,
okay,
Will you
okay, okay.
please?
I got you.
we'll
I
have to
got you.
take that one offline.
I
Oh,
got
I want to say thank you so much to Jen for saying that. Don't. I'm not. I don't go around like I didn't make that video for, and I didn't want to like put anyone. But like I said in the beginning of it, I can't discredit or talk about anything anyone else is doing if I hadn't done the work and done it myself. So now I could talk about other people. No, I'm kidding. But
you. Right.
that's why I said that, and I meant that. I just did that video so that we all have more information, and I can continue to just in a way that is logical, in a way that is, it might be something that other people aren't looking at because I'll look at things in a different, in a different way, or I've been reading all of this stuff over so many times that I already have so many different things that need to be exposed, and I really am going to continue to research what she witnessed or what she could have been a part of, because there could only be so many different scenarios. I've already started to research it, but I just haven't came up with anything concrete yet, and I don't want to bring a bunch of speculation to a video.
Well, I
Right.
appreciate everything you've done, and it was put together very nicely and very, as a matter of fact. It was very concrete.
Thank
There was
you.
no, hey, look at this. What is this? Or.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
I
yes,
told her
yes.
you don't want to be doing 10, 2, 3 minute videos over and over and over and over.
And it was not
Oh,
repetitive because a lot of the videos out there are very repetitive. There was
I
not
know
a
I'm
sense
not.
of there was not a
That's
sense
all
of
you gotta do is say.
arrogance.
Yeah.
no, thank you very much. I really, truly have cared. I've cared about this case. I've cared about this case from the very first day that it came out. It unsettled me, and I'm still unsettled, but I feel a little bit better. I feel like at least I know, because I didn't even know if I was at the point where I didn't know what to believe. I would have believed anything was possible. Maybe she wasn't even dead. Maybe she was dead, but it was only her head. Maybe it was only like I didn't know what to believe. So I'm just glad that we at least have a little bit of insight into what actually may have happened and what actually was going on in her life that day and what she even looked like that day. So,
Right.
I mean, and there's always, truth will always eventually come out, at least part of the truth. So at least I can continue to uncover, and I will, and I'll keep searching. I'm a little bit of a detective, like I miss my calling. So I'll find out
Right.
what she could have been involved in that night,
Indeed.
because they don't care enough
Well, I.
about her to go calling security guards in other places if it's not significant. So, but yeah, so thank you everyone for being nice and not like coming at me like on my other, like on the other video I made asking, and all I said in that video was, did Kanika's sister tell on herself? But people hated me.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the
They
question
got
I've always had because on that BET interview, that's what she said. Her sister's hair was all over her head like she had been fighting. But when they saw the body, her hair was very flat. So where do you get that it's
Right.
all over her face?
Right.
Exactly.
And I
Exactly. And that's exactly what I said.
and I feel
You
like
know?
they watch social media and they've kind of been changing the narrative to kind of fit what we've been saying. And I actually went back, and it's like the sixth episode. I've only watched half of the first one of that show called Wisdom of the Crowd, and that's exactly what that show is about. Is how there's a murder basically, and they let social media solve it.
Right.
It's like six episodes deep. Like I said, I probably only watched 20 or 30 minutes of the first episode, but he creates an app and you plug in all your information and they solve it based off of. And then this show aired, when did it air? Maybe October or something, maybe October the 1st. But it's like almost like, okay, this was a month before after all of this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you try to see how much information you could get from us? Like, was this kind of a pilot to the show? Like,
I think they got nervous that we might have figured this whole thing out, and I think we, and I mean everybody, every one of us, whether the people watched or whether the people made content, I think we led to them closing the case because I never
Mm-hmm.
seen a case closed so quick.
Never seen a case where they released so much. They over gave us information. I've never seen a case, a high profile case, a simple case. I've never have any of you ever seen a case where they have released the entire case file down to every interview, every receipt, every phone call, every video. Like I've never seen this in my life.
Right.
I'm very glad that they did. I'm sure that release Teresa had to agree to it. Like I don't if it was my I mean even
she
though
said that she didn't agree to the pictures being released.
what? Oh, come on.
That's what she
It,
said. Have y'all seen the guy? What is his name? Gary Hughes.
Yeah, I see him.
I think
I don't know who that is.
he makes videos. He does YouTube, but all of his videos are about debunking anything somebody puts out there.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, I have seen
He
him then.
debunked mine.
That's the one
I
that
wish he
straightened up
would.
was like he made a whole video saying that he was gonna like go after him and stuff like that for that guy, right?
Where who was gonna go after him?
Straight Drop was saying that. That's the one that she was
Well,
talking.
yeah, and Straight Up took one of his videos or something, and he had to go back and edit it to fit the narrative or something. But he's also one of the admins in the Facebook groups, and that's when I got out of the Facebook groups. Is because that's all he did was debunk things, and if he didn't like what you said, he was deleting posts or whatever. And I'm just like,
Well, tell old buddy old pal come check out my rabbit hole videos and debunk those.
Mhm.
he
He
has
won't
the
do that.
comments. He has the comments turned off on all his videos. I noticed that today.
He's
Oh,
admin
he
for
could do. He could
who?
do that. He could do that. Well, we gonna
No,
go live on his debunking and see if he's right.
he's the admin in one of the Justice for Kanika's group, one the biggest one, the one
Yeah,
that
I
has
told
like
y'all. I
Oh,
30.
told y'all. I know he is, and I told y'all stay away from them groups.
yeah,
Those
because somebody said that he's a cop. He
I
works for
wouldn't
the
believe.
police.
I totally have no doubt about that. I totally have
right,
no doubt about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt
right.
it. I
You
have
gotta
seen his
watch them, man.
videos. Yeah.
Even the young black people are real shady in these groups that call themselves admins. All they do is just let people go live and just talk about nothing. And then here I go, I post information that's important. Ain't nobody paying attention.
Right. Crazy.
I just got out the group like that. Some lady said I was an agent. I said, "You're admin." All right, I'm out. Yeah, admin though. I'm out. You know,
Yeah,
probably
I
take
didn't
people
say
watch. I think the police were watching me one day because they pretended to be Rosemont, but they might was the police. Whoever they was, they pulled up my dad's address, and I said,
Yeah, I was.
take a ride
Yeah, I
over
was
there and
there.
watch what happened.
That was
Because it's
crazy.
not my address. They pulled up my dad's address. Me and my dad got the same last first and last name, so of course you're gonna go to that address.
That was crazy.
Yeah, nah, it ain't crazy. It'd be crazy if they pulled up.
I mean, but just that they were so, because they literally said, what was crazy is like it came in the chat room and said, stop making these videos.
Right.
We were like, what? Okay, whatever. You know?
Yeah, that's what I was like. I was like,
Then they
whatever.
said,
All right.
I'm warning you. Like, damn, okay, whatever.
I think that was the live feed that got flagged for harassing and bullying. By the way, I think that's the
Well,
one.
all I know is like, yeah, the next day where you're, yeah, it was flagged, and because I even was like, it couldn't have been that troll. Could it have been? But who knows? I mean, it very well may have been. Who knows?
Right. Well, look, guys. I normally would stay too long, but I
Yeah,
have
it's
to get off
bed
this
time.
floor, and because I'm using that computer to go do a hangout here. I really appreciate y'all. If y'all can, check out Miss Crenshaw. Her link is in the description box. And if you want to give out your social media information, you can. It's up to you.
My social media information.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
if you
yeah,
want, only if you want to.
if anybody, if yes, it's what's on YouTube. It's Miss Crenshaw. If anybody wants to, it's I don't even. It's not even about people like subscribing to me or what. But if anybody wants to watch anything I have on there, if you want to take the information, repost the information, do what you want with it. It's for you guys. It's for all of us that want that information that didn't go into the case files. Um. So yes, and I would love to talk to any of you about anything or get any feedback because this was great. And I want to thank you, Huggy, for posting that video because I don't have any subscribers and you have. I mean, it was a way to actually get the word out in a way that I wouldn't have been able to. So thank you so much.
Thank you, and I thank you for making the video. And this is what my channel was made for. So when I saw the rise in numbers in mine, I said, well, let me pull people up that need to be pulled up. I did it for Rebel. Uh, y'all sub to him, her. I plan on bringing more people on. We're going to talk about many things. My other friend, she's running. I want her to do the video about Africa. I want to share some pictures about her trip to Africa. She went there for a whole week. She said it was the most wonderful, amazing time of her life. So
I would love to.
I'm trying to get her on there maybe tomorrow. If not tomorrow, maybe next week. But I plan on doing a lot of things. So if anybody's out there that wants to have a story to tell, or if you just want to jump on and this is what it's about. Because this ain't just about me. It's for y'all too. So this is what I plan to do.
Awesome.
I
well,
feel
you
both of y'all did an excellent job. I thank y'all for
Thank
y'all's
you.
time and patience.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being part of the conversation. Everybody was
Thank
like
you so much.
amazing and had great conversation and was respectful. It was awesome. So thank all of you guys. It was great talking to you.
That's great. And before we end this, if y'all don't mind, go visit Kate. I want my apology. I'm serious as I'm
are you
serious as cancer, and I'm not talking about Teresa.
Mm, mm.
you
Yep.
know you're not getting that apology, right, Huggy?
I hope I do. I'm a clown every chance I get.
I'll be
Well,
the bigger person. I'll go over there and get it for you.
so I want a minute video. Just like she been dissing people left and right. It'd be nice if she made a minute video and apologized to me. And please stop telling people I was Charles and tell people I apologize
Yeah, because
publicly. You have nothing
she
to do
made
with
a
this
video
crazy.
recently saying that. Because somebody
Saying
was
what?
saying that it was chosen, and she was like, "No, that was Huggy." I'm
Okay,
like,
well,
"What?"
shit.
No, she didn't.
Oh, just
Oh, I need to
just
go
one
cuss her
minute.
ass
Just
out.
1 minute. Just 1 minute. It wouldn't hurt. Just 1 minute, say, hey, Huggy had nothing to do with it, and I apologize for your name in it. That way it'll clear my name up from all these lawsuits that you probably have
Oh God.
eventually, because you can't get them.
She's mad at herself because she took the bait
She
and
ain't.
she didn't fact check and she lost all of her credibility because
But
she
then
was
she
going.
just did it again like 2 days ago, telling everyone that she was found in Germany in 2013. That all those people involved were really in Germany, and they were all trannies. She just
She's
said
Wait,
that.
so
what? I didn't read. I
before
didn't watch that. That's what happened.
That
before the
video.
whole.
Yeah, like 2 days ago, she said she had got an email that once again she didn't fact check, and she went so far as to like she posted it. She started was like she was crying, like freaking out at the start of the video, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?" You know, like is it was did something? What happened? She was so frantic. I thought something really significant, and then she's like, "I just got this email, and I knew it. I knew it. There is metadata be that cannot be whatever. Where like you can't deny it." And she brings up this email that someone sent her, and there was like it. I guess there was like, see, it says Kenneka Jenkins died in Germany in a hotel in 2013. But what it was, on a blog where you could see like, how there's like that ellipsis that like the three dots that separate something in a story in one post. She wasn't taking that into consideration, so it totally
No,
was not what she was saying that it
Well,
was.
she said something about 2011 as well.
Oh
She's
yeah.
always she's always been hard to watch, but when she was digging and going down those rabbit holes that she had no business going down, you kind of sucked it up and watched her. But now she's just all over the place.
It was a
Yeah,
comedy show to me.
at least
right.
she cried more than Teresa.
She was going down those rabbit holes and throwing names up that she had no business throwing up, and she was making connections that she had no business. She was way too far in it. But you watched her. But now she's
I
just
don't.
all over the place.
I delete all her stuff. I'm not interested. And not only that, she ain't gonna catch a case. She gonna catch a headstone.
Yeah, she better hope that don't happen to her, cause man, if I was Charles, boy, I tell you. Did y'all see what happened on this page?
No, what happened?
Man, they left all type of naked pictures and call them all type of niggers and you
Oh
you
shit.
you yeah they lit that man Facebook page up. That's
Who
what I
is
was saying.
they?
Now when I saw
Wow.
her people, her supporters,
Oh wow.
Who is this? Who
yeah,
keeps
they
that?
had
Someone in the comments keeps asking if it's Barbie. If it's Barbie talking,
what
or
the who? Why they keep talking? Who is Barbie? Who is that?
that's what I said. I don't know. I don't
Is
know if
that
it's
bad
referring
Barbie
to.
that they're talking about?
I don't
Oh,
know who Bad Barbie. I don't think nobody knows who Bad Barbie is.
oh no, that's not. I know that's not me.
Bad Barbie is just a page, isn't it?
No, that's a well. It's someone who does that page. I guess. I don't know. I don't know, but
Nah,
just recognize one of the
this is
girls
not
was.
Bad Barbie. This is Miss Crenshaw.
Yeah, that's yeah. I am. I am. My name is Nicole Crenshaw. I'm not a
Yeah,
Barbie or twenty four
yeah.
seven.
I'm gonna need for you to wake up. Are you woke,
Or maybe
Suma?
they're not talking about me.
He asked him who is this on the panel. Let me block you. You being an idiot. Oh, okay. He said okay. Okay, you got it. All right then.
Okay.
Thank you. You're welcome. All right. I almost got you. I almost hit you with the Bosco. I will look. We gotta check
Where
in,
your
check out
snipers
anything
at? Where your
y'all.
snipers?
My sniper.
Huggy is the sniper. We don't do that.
Yeah, I'm a one man show out and I'll kick you out in a minute. I don't need no help.
He drill them and shoot them.
I'm always watching. Yeah, I can
That
multitask. I can pay attention to the chat. I can pay attention to the panel. I can watch everybody converse and everything. So
his arrogance is too much.
I wonder how long
yeah.
it's going to be before other people start posting up that picture of Kanika.
Oh, they'll start doing it. Word to get around. Normally, when I go to sleep, the views be slow. I wake up, next thing you know, it's 2,000 or something like that. Everybody
Not
hasn't
that I.
woke up yet. When they wake up, it's gonna circulate.
Yeah.
Trust me. And people gonna be like, wow, that does look like the girl in the freezer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Kay'll make a video about it today.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, Kate, just 1 minute. All right, 1 minute video. I'll have nothing to do with it, and you apologize to me. That's all you can do. You just make it 30 seconds. I'll bargain with 30 seconds. Just make sure the metadata will stay up. So anyway, I appreciate y'all. I thank you. Anybody y'all want to say anything? Y'all want to pass out any? Jay, why you sitting over there quiet, man? What's going on? I see you, bro. You riding out? You driving today? Hit that microphone, Jay. Jay. I think he probably he's right. He truck driver. He probably can't hit the button right now. Well, any one of y'all, y'all want to shout out y'all YouTube or anything, social media, you know? Anybody else?
Oh.
April, Nay.
No, I don't have one.
Oh, well, we are checking in and we checking out.
Checking
Until
out.
next time,
Checking out. Have a good night.
Have a good
peace.
one.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning,
Bye.
y'all.